Hello and welcome to TPK Roleplay for a new one-shot based on Ghost Lines by John Harper. With some inspiration from his other game, Blades in the Dark, this is Derelectric. My name is ProperNerdy. I'm a TPK staff member, roleplayer, game master, and designer. To my left are the players for this particular adventure, and they will introduce themselves momentarily. But first, an introduction. It is the year 891 of the Imperium that united the Shattered Isles of the Cataclysm under one rule. All glory to His Majesty, the Immortal Emperor, Unilias the Unyielding. You may come from different parts of the Shattered Isles, but one way or another, you've all ended up working as a line bull. These protectors of the ghost lines are as feared for their skill in destroying rogue spirits as they are distrusted for the ominous work they do. You're not necessarily second-class citizens, but your position only puts you slightly above them, and only because you are an employee of the Imperium. In fact, the four of you will be crammed into a small compartment with all of your gear just ahead of their traveling compartment. Speaking of the train, it travels between Elysia and the Imperial City. First-class passengers of the Bayside line are usually incredibly well off. Nobles and merchants of the Imperium's capital city. The trip between the crackling shells of the city's lightning tower cages is cold and dark as it winds its way around Akoros' rocky mountainous shores. You've drawn the short straw to be assigned to this particular route. You're starting the game at the employee bar at the Elysian Electro Rail Station. You're certainly no masters, but you've been working the rail for some time now, and you all know one another. To call this ramshackle accumulation of metal sheeting a bar might be a stretch of the imagination, but it's somewhere to indulge in your vices before a night of hard work. Now, one at a time, as you feel inclined, please introduce yourselves as a player and introduce your character. Whoever wants to go first can jump on in.
I'm Lukalok, and I am playing Aminta, Nightwatch, the Owl. I've ran a few lines. I've cleared a few ghosts. But right now, I am just using a few chits to get some downtime.
Okay, you are going to enter the Electrorail Station bar. It doesn't have a name, because why would it? Why does it need it? But you and all the rest of the Electrorail workers, the line bulls, are here amongst all of the train workers, the conductors, the electromen, everything. They're all here in this bar. Are you heading over to the bar itself?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for a few minutes. I've got a drink already, but I'll go over and just sit at the bar because there's the best people watching there.
You know the bar. You see the bartender. He is a large, heavy-set man with a fluffy gray mustache and a wide ring of balding head. Tufts of curling hair spring from under his stained undershirt, and his arms are scarred with electrical burns. One of his eyes is paled over in a murky white, and a splotch of skin like a birthmark covers part of his face, turning it an ashy gray. If you've worked on this line before, you know this man is broken, which I believe you have, correct?
Yep, I've worked most of the Akoros lines.
Cool. Give me one sec while I think Zoom is a little bit quieter than the rest of everything. So you know him broken. You've probably met him several times before on your many visits to this particular bar. He is a retired Scotland line bull from the time just after the Unity War, a time when, what is it? Is it Scotland? I should have this map up. Yes, from a time when Scotland tried to break away from the Imperium and ended up failing. However, he's as loyal to the Imperium as the other rail workers seem to be to drink. He laughs with the other patrons and shouts at you when you come up to his bar. Well, welcome back.
How's it going, Brogan?
Oh, you know, much better than out there on the rails, let me tell you.
You could water the drinks a little less, you know.
Where would I make my money then?
Using all my chips just to get a little bit of a head change.
You're gonna need to be in top shape. Where are you heading out this day?
Oh, I think over to Imperial City.
Oof.
I want to say.
The Bayside line. What did you do to get that one?
Listen, it's fine. It's just a bunch of rich mucky mucks. We'll make sure the ghosts don't bother them.
Well, drink up. You're almost on shift. Who else is gonna be there?
Well, I definitely need a drink, so I'll saddle up. And is Brogan his badge name or his name?
A little bit of both. It's what you would call him. You probably wouldn't refer to everyone else by badges, but say the Imperial Guard came to you, they might say it.
Well, you know, I'm a real guy's guy, so I was hoping to know more insight. But Brogan, of course, always so closed off. I'll saddle up and, hey, Brogan, can I get my usual, please? And can you add some extra espresso if you have it on hand?
You've got the strangest orders of drinks around here. It'll take a few minutes. I got a lot of other customers. How's the novel coming along?
Told you not to talk about that in public. There's people listening.
You mentioned it once. I'm never going to let it go.
Of course, you know, a man and his bartender, such a close relationship, but...
Don't worry. Lips are sealed.
Yeah, so sealed as always. And I assume I sit next to, do you pronounce it Aminta?
Aminta.
Aminta. I sit next to Aminta because of
How
course,
many
you know,
times have I told you this, Nick?
Listen, it's not normal to my vocabulary. Although we're from the same place, I do not know where your parents got that name.
You know that Akoros, even though it's one continent, is a bit like Europe. It's got amalgamations of cultures here and there all across. And when you get to the cities, like you do in Elysia, it's just a soup, a stew of cultures.
Beautiful. Yeah, I am playing Nick Sparks, and I guess the rest will come out later. My name is Korabi. Hi. Sit down, take my energized beverage to stay the chipper man I always am and flash everybody a smile.
Okay, Chrissy in purple. What about your characters?
So I will say that Lenia comes in probably quietly and quickly, faster than even speed walking, and she's gonna attempt to pickpocket Nick to buy a drink for Aminta.
Well, let's do.
All you have to do is ask. We've gone over this.
She's still gonna try.
Why don't you roll me some finesse?
Okay, it's 2d6 plus the modifier, right?
Yes, and actually, since we're doing rolls, might as well. Cole, why doesn't Nick roll insight?
Oh,
we'll do it as a
boy.
tested roll.
How much is your finesse out of game, Chrissy?
My finesse is +1, plus I have a nimble plus another +1, so that's 4 total, I think.
Well, nimbles, you should just add that number to your finesse number.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
So if you have a
all right.
1 in
Well,
finesse, you
still-
should make it a 2.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a total of 8, I believe.
Okay.
Mine was a 9.
Oh, you son of a
It
bitch.
was literally just one more.
Plus, Cole has a -2 from chat. So might as well get the brutal stuff out of the way here.
Oh, I do.
So, Nick, is it Lenia or Linnea?
Lenia.
Lenia comes in, grabs some money out of your pocket before you even realize that she is there, and is buying a drink before you realize that is your money.
Brogan, hey. Let me get one for me and one for my friend here. And she'll just kind of like shove a little bit of an elbow at Aminta and then just kind of like sit down and get to her drink quickly before Nick
You riding
notices.
this line with us?
Apparently,
This should be a good time.
hopefully we can have some fun. I mean, to say anything, well, we'll get there one way or the other.
Not if you don't have anything to say about it.
I mean, if I have anything to say about it, I'll make sure it's said there, Nick.
Yeah. All glory to the Immortal Emperor.
Unilias the Unyielding,
Immortal
and
Emperor.
she'll just down the drink.
Well, let's hope you get there in one piece, eh? And he will wink with his white eye, the one that's been like destroyed in some way. Nick, we mentioned that you have a few secrets with Brogan. How close do you really think you are?
Well, one night after a successful trip, I might have had a little bit too much spiked coffee, and I guess he knows the whole deal. He knows my biggest secret, and I guess he has a hard time not telling everybody. So I feel like we're close, but it's definitely one-sided. Brogan does not let on very much from what I remember, but I don't remember much.
Well, this is something that may have stuck with you simply because it's kind of really dark. And it's something that you have to kind of grapple with every time you go out into the night, into the near darkness that is anywhere in the Shattered Isles. He may have seen you were very drunk, hoped you would forget it, but you remember this just enough. You know that Brogan lost his eye in a fight with a major ghost who grappled him in an attempt to take his spirit, the kind of life essence that makes you living. And he lost part of it, not all of it, and he now has a shard spirit within him. So he's broken but not dead.
Most interesting.
But he winks at you with that eye and starts making the drink for both you and for Lenia.
Yeah. Seems like we're missing someone. Where the hell's Booker?
Yeah, and as you're saying that, and he's mixing those drinks, Booker's gonna kind of walk up to the bar, like 3 seats away from everyone, and just kind of look at the bartender and say, "Glass of whiskey, strong." And he's gonna look over and see the rest of them and go, "Leave the bottle."
That much of a rough night for you?
I'm gonna be on the line with these 3.
Ha ha! Well, let's hope you make it out alive, okay?
I'll make it
Booker.
out alive. Hopefully, I don't get another one of these to match, though.
You say that, but you know I'm one of the best in the business, so you're always safe with me.
Is that so,
Booker?
Nick?
Can you top me off? I'm pretty sure Bogan watering down my drink.
I got you.
Thank you.
It is the most certain. Save everyone with a smile. That's what I always say.
Brogan will turn to you, Lenia, and say, well, I'm glad to see you're over here instead of back home. When were you last home?
Been a while now. Haven't heard any word, anything good or bad. How about you? Heard anything?
Yeah, someone just came over from Aruvia. Seems that the Imperial Guard recently quelled an uprising. Some little ruffians trying to cause trouble with the prince over there.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. And she'll kind of like give a wink.
Well, be careful, because all the lines over to Sunfall are completely cut off.
So as you say that, she will kind of like take note of it. You'll see that she kind of like is interested in that bit of information.
Are you trying to do a roll here?
Not currently, but no, I don't think so.
Okay. And he'll turn to you, Booker, and say, well, I think you might need that drink. I might even put a little extra alcohol in it this time. Do you believe the rumors?
I don't believe anything they're saying these days.
Good. Well, I don't know. I've been around the. I've been a line bull for a long time before I started here, and let me tell you, the rumors that the gates of death are on the Bayside line. I think it's pretty fascinating if that were true.
Why would they keep the line running if it was?
You know, the higher ups, the men of the Imperium have their own dastardly things to do, I'm sure, but I'm sure you're right. No, it's just it's a myth, it's a legend, I'm sure.
At the very least, it might be close.
Well, there's all kinds of evils in this world nowadays. Let me tell you. And with
You don't
that,
have to tell me.
and with that, as you're saying it, a steam whistle blows incredibly loudly, echoes through the electro rail station and into the little bar area, echoing off of the metal walls that surround you. And you know it is time. Your train is leaving station.
Time for work. I'm gonna reach down and just grab up like my kind of duffel bag almost, and just kind of sling it over his shoulder and head out.
You probably have some personal equipment, some specialty gear, those kinds of things, because you know that most of your equipment should be in the train already.
Couple, I have a spare lantern that I just always keep on myself, of oil, and that's just kind of hanging off the side of it.
The four of you gather together and walk down the platform towards your part of the train. The conductor waves you on as you approach the rear of the train with the second-class citizens kind of flocking around you. But you have a separate section. You hop inside the train, and you depart before the day is over. I say day, the weak sun barely illuminates the sky. You get a brief amount of light in the dawn and a brief amount of light at dusk, and the rest is gray and misty. And you can tell it's starting to rain. It's going to be a doozy of a trip. Let me set the scene.
I will shove my duffel bag in my cramped little sleeping pod kind of bunk here, and just kind of crawl in under the itchy wool blanket.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking luxury.
That's better than last time. Before we get too much further, we're drawing straws this time. I'm not being anchor again. We're drawing straws. That's what we're supposed to do. Come on.
Seriously?
What we're supposed to do.
What are you talking
Know the
about?
rules.
I mean, I feel like at this point,
fine, whatever.
All right, we're just resigning ourselves.
He's gonna bitch and whine the whole time. I don't want to hear
Hey,
it.
it's how everyone else does it.
Oh, just because everyone else does it? Is that really your excuse? And as I say this, I'm gonna hop up on like one of the top bunks and attempt to make one of the straws, or at least get sight on the straw that Booker is messing with, trying to get eyes on whichever one will get me out of being anchor.
Go ahead and pull straws.
You want us to roll something, or?
I can tell you what you get.
You already know.
Sure, Booker. How about
But-
you just draw my straw for me, Booker? That'll totally just be totally fine. I trust you implicitly.
I don't get to pick a straw.
Booker,
Yeah, but you can tell you're holding them,
this,
Booker.
yeah.
We know how this works.
I'll hold the straw.
you can
Nick, you go first.
roll finesse if you want to.
Listen, I'm not included in this. My name is very obviously ingrained in my lightning hook, and ain't nobody else gonna use it, so I do what I do. Ingrained.
Engraved?
Might not be the correct word, but also it is a word that works. It's good.
Engraved.
Ingrained.
No, ingrained works, trust me.
All right,
Oh my
ingrained.
gosh.
Sure,
Are you
sure.
still trying to write that?
Who
book?
told you about that?
What do you mean?
We're-
Who told me?
We're in
I
the
ha-
same
like-
cabin.
You're fucking constantly mumbling to yourself and writing shit down.
I deny everything. Anyways,
Then
you
what
guys
are you
were drawing
writing?
straws. What are you even drawing straws for?
Who has to wear the suit and get out there and track all the ghosts?
You're the only one that fits in it.
He's right. He's right, Booker.
Hey,
That's a terrible excuse.
I mean,
Is
it's
it though?
I feel like it's not really an excuse.
yeah.
I mean,
it's
I
just
could probably
biology,
fit in
I
there,
guess.
but I'd be rattling around. It
Look at
was
me. I'm
made
all
for you.
arms. I'm just all skin and bones.
Fine. Do again, but
Okay.
I'm taking your hazard pay.
So the three of you eventually
Fuck you are.
do you eventually settle down and actually draw straws?
Nah, we're just forcing Booker to do his goddamn job.
Good. So that means that Nick is taking the role of the rook. That means that Booker is taking the job of the anchor. Linnea, you're taking the one you're most familiar with, which is the spider. And I believe that means, Aminta, you are the owl, like usual. Why mess up a good system? Speaking of messing things up, it is about the second day on your trip when you get a knock on the door of your compartment.
Yeah, come on in.
One,
Uh,
two, who the fuck is knocking on our door?
So you see a tall, wiry man peek his head nervously into your compartment, and with a bit of a stutter, he goes, well, excuse me, the conductor asked me that since you are the only ones who are left right now, that you should come to the parlor car.
Is this guy? Spirit got your tongue? What for, man?
Oh, you see, they're dead, you see. The guardsmen, the Imperial guards, they've collapsed. They're dead.
Like, they're undead?
No, thankfully, but they have collapsed.
All right, let's take a look.
Hey, you think we're just dealing with souls that fucking passed out, or what?
We'll know till we see it.
You gather some of your gear and you clunk your way up through the car. You pass through several first-class cars, the dining rooms, several sleeping suites, etc.
Just saying. These guys don't even know a dead body. They might just be sleeping. Who knows?
You open the door that connects the rear train cars with the first-class parlor. This is very nearly the very front of the train, save for the electroman station and the engine room. It's mostly empty, except two extravagantly wealthy women sipping tea at one end and two dead guards at the other. The guards are sitting in a small pool of their own blood, and the ladies are chatting away busily in excitement.
Well, no, those are dead bodies.
Excuse
Yes.
me, ma'ams.
Oh, what can I do for you? It's so nerve-wracking. It's so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, did you see what happened?
Oh, I did. They were doing their duty. They were guarding the electro car when suddenly they started coughing, choking even, and spluttering blood. And that's the one woman. And to her left is a slightly smaller woman with very similar, richly extravagant clothes. And she gasps, "It was ghastly." And the first one responds, "Truly horrific." And then they giggle at each other because they're like overcome with fear, but also excitement at like drama happening.
I'm just gonna kind of lean forward on their table, making sure to leave a nice greasy handprint. And just, did you see any ghosts? Any spirits floating in, attacking them?
Ghosts? No, of course not. It just happened out of the blue. I don't know what happened.
Thank you for your time.
No. And so the first of the sisters will turn to the other and say, "Oh, now tell me, do you really think the Prince Pentalion has actually been consorting with demons? I hear all the royals in Aruvia are demons."
Lenia, hearing that, will turn to them and go, "It's true," and just make a loud hissing sound. And then just bend down towards the dead bodies and start inspecting them.
Come on now, don't be scaring the fine people of this car. What are
I
your
love it. It's
What-
just more to tell their high society friends the adventures they had on their vacation.
Oh,
Okay.
Petunia, you hear that? We're lovely.
We're here to serve the people, and he'll flash a smile at them and kind of do like a lean. Is there anything else you're maybe not remembering? And if you think a little harder, you might be able to regale us with. I mean, women, so talented as yourselves,
Oh.
have to have seen more.
Well, we didn't see much more because, as we said, they were coughing and the choking. They spat up their own blood and they just fell to the floor. I mean, do you think their spirits are still here? Are they among us? It did get cold just seconds before they fell to the ground.
I think that's
with
just
that,
the AC.
I'm gonna drop down my spirit goggles and just look around.
What do the spirit goggles do?
I believe they just give me insight.
They see spirits. I'll keep these two distracted. Just schmoozing them while you guys do whatever.
So I'm actually asking you to feel free to say whatever the fuck you want. What does the spirit goggles do for you besides adding insight to your rolls?
So they show me faint traces of spirit activity. So usually I can see just almost like it's like a very thin fog hovering over, whereas spirits had like significant impact with a living creature or like an object that's firmly in this world.
Okay, we can roll now. Why don't you roll me some insight and see what you find out from your spirit goggles?
Hell yeah.
And feel free to say it out loud because
3 plus 6.
is 9
So
plus your insight.
9. Why is it not adding it?
Oh yeah, we realized this. It doesn't do things for you.
Right.
So you got a
Okay,
3 plus
cool.
6, and your insight is a 3.
Yep.
Okay. So that would be a 12. That's a complete success, I believe. When you employ insight, roll plus insight on a 12 plus hold 3. Spend your hold 1 for 1 during the scene to ask the GM questions from the list. what's really going on here? What should I be on the lookout for? What's the best way to blank? What are they really feeling? What do they want? Or how could I get them to blank?
Okay. How could I get them to wake up these bodies here?
Get who to wake up what bodies?
I'm assuming they are still souls, but they could be hollows or undead. I'm not sure, but like, how do I get these passed out people to wake up? Will be my first question. Do you want me to list all of them or one at a time?
Ask all of them, and I'll do them one by one.
Okay. What's really going on here?
Okay.
And what should I be on the lookout for?
So let's start with what's really going on here, because it's the one you actually are most baffled by. You look through your spirit goggles, expecting to see some vestiges of their spirits. And you can tell that there was a spirit here recently, but it has seemed to have vanished. So you know, as a line bull, that all spirits must be destroyed with lightning oil. But someone seems to have taken the spirits.
Yeah. Okay.
Another question was, how do you get them to wake up? You know, there is no way to, as far as you know, there is no way to reconnect a spirit with its body.
Okay, so these guys are just hollows now. Sucks to be them.
And what was your third question again?
What should I be on the lookout for?
So while you're looking through your spirit goggles, you do notice something that you've not seen before. It's a sort of purpley mist. It looks very different than what you've ever seen when looking through the goggles before, looking for specifically for spirits. And it's there for a moment, just as you're putting them on, and then it seems to dissipate and is gone out of your view. What to be on the lookout for? What's causing that?
All right. I'm gonna turn to Chrissy's character, Nia, right? Or
Lenia.
Lenia.
Yeah,
Lenia.
you got it. You were close.
I'm gonna lift back up my goggles and just look, Lenia. These guys are fucking hollows now. I don't know who did it, but their souls are gone. Fled the coop.
One thing I should say though, a hollow is a person who is
Body
still
without a soul.
technically
right?
Yes. You can be a living hollow. So hollows
Yeah.
are usually living. These people are dead.
Oh, they are dead. Okay, I thought they were just.
They
passed
have a
out.
body that is dead, and
They're
their
just-
spirit is elsewhere.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Awesome. So
At least that's what you've picked
then
up
I will
from your spirit
amend
goggles.
That I'm sorry, not fucking hollows. These dudes are dead. Someone fucking stole their souls, and there's something weird going on. But we've got spirits on the loose.
No. And Lenia will kind of go back to inspecting the body to see if there's any sort of, like, anything that would give her a sign to what exactly happened to them, even kind of just like picking up an arm and dropping it down. Like, just moving the body just a little bit, like shifting it to see if there's anything going on with it.
While she does that, I'll just kind of like step back to Booker and Nick and just let them know what I found with my goggles.
You think something took the souls then?
I don't know. I've heard of rumors of people smuggling souls or harvesting spirits for whatever the fuck, you know. But
Petunia looks at her sister and whispers, "Do you think that someone's planning a possession party?"
I was gonna ask, are we having this conversation in front of these two ladies still?
I mean, I had backed up and was kind of whispering to Booker and Nick, but upon realizing these bitches are listening in, I'm gonna just drop my voice a little lower.
Now, one of you two didn't steal these spirits, did you?
Ho, 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 ho! No, dearie, please. No, we would never. But
of course,
we hear
of
it's
course.
all the rage in the Imperial City. My sister Polonia was invited to a possession party. Oh, Petunia, we absolutely must go.
Interesting. Oh, how much do you say they charge at things like that?
Oh, it's only for the very rich. Did you know my husband is in the spice trade?
Don't worry, we get in for free, ladies. We're there usually to clean up the mess.
Oh, not to these. These are very well known. Possession parties are all the rage.
Well, we should probably drag these out of your car here and, you know, let you be on your way for, you know, staying beautiful or whatever else you do.
Oh, you hear that? He called us beautiful. And they will messily eat their way through some more biscuits and breads. They will sip their tea really quickly to finish up, and leaving a wake of crumbs and debris, they're going to scurry back towards their seats.
Nick, where are we gonna put these people?
Well, no, but we shouldn't just leave them here, should we?
I mean, this makes them way more their problem than our problem.
Booker, what did you do with the last bodies you found? You just throw them off the train, or?
A lot of room out there.
I mean,
Jesus. I
there's
mean,
no time for
What?
you know, burial processions, right?
Lena, you were looking at him. What killed him? You see that?
I don't know if I can tell what killed him. I'll keep trying to tell.
Let me see. What would that be? I mean, you can use
You
insight
were
as
looking
well.
at it, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Insight is sort of a mix of kind of all of the brainy things. So perhaps it's
Could I help if I lean down to her just really close and say, one of those ladies said that they started coughing.
sure you can assist either now or afterward. You said Lenia, you were going to try to figure out why they died.
Yes. It was a 10 total without whatever I'm into.
Well, okay.
You even need my help? I don't know if you do.
I don't know. Still not fully
Still
sure.
reading the rules. So for every move, force, finesse, or insight, you may also spend one of your choices on these. You may assist someone. They take +1 into their roll, or you can interfere with someone. They take -2. So actually, it sounds like assist is not a roll in itself. So you would also have to roll insight.
Okay. 2 + 6 + 3, 11. Oh God! How dare this game make me do math?
So really, so both of you can ask 2 questions. Hold 2. Since adding 1 to Chrissy's roll isn't going to help much, though. Actually, if Chrissy uses,
Can I just give Chrissy my
no.
questions?
So Chrissy could use one of her questions, use one of her rolls. She has 2 hold, right? She's allowed to add 1 to your roll and make it a 12.
Okay.
Because you said you rolled an 11. Sorry, we're still figuring out how this game works because it's brand new to all of us. But basically, if you rolling one of the 3 rolls, those are 2 other options you can use using your hold. Make sense? I'll
Kind of
clarify it
does.
again next time. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah,
I
for
guess
Sonia.
that Lenia would probably have the question, what's the best way to find out what killed these people?
Let's say you would. Let's see. How long have you been working on the rails for, Elysia?
I have her down for doing 2 lines worked.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say probably a decent amount of time.
Okay.
Not like forever, but a decent amount of time.
You worked the same lines for quite a few different times.
Yeah.
You've only ever seen this once before, but you know that if someone were to forcibly remove your spirit, it is going to mess you up royally. You saw what happened when someone... Well, you probably don't know this, but Nick would know this. Nick knows that if you remove even part of a spirit, it can mess with your body, such as perhaps destroying your eye.
All right.
I gotta be honest. It feels like we're just wasting a lot of time. We're in the business of keeping the train safe from active ghosts and keeping people safe from active ghosts. These are already dead bodies. It's kind of out of our jurisdiction.
Hey
Not if a
man, not
ghost
all of
killed
us
them.
are action boys.
I don't
Some
see
of
no
us
ghost
use
around
our
though.
minds to solve the problem.
Okay, I'll just sit here.
Listen, you guys want to go in there guns blazing with no information, that's absolutely fine, but I mean, I prefer not to.
Where are we even going?
I mean, anywhere. Anywhere we go. I'd like to know
Wherever
what
the
we're up
fuck
against.
These spirits went.
To Lenia's point, those guards are the only Imperial guards you have on the station. Now you're the only protectors of this train.
Better get a pay
So-
raise.
Ah, fuck. Something's occurring to me, you guys.
And now
We're
it's
the
us versus
only
them.
fucking people in charge on this train right now.
Well,
Well, in charge is a relative term.
And that's
Booker,
kind of
do you want to toss these guys or what? Is that really what we're doing with these bodies?
I
I mean, you don't tell
I'm
their
not-
families, you just huck them off the side?
That's what I did last time.
Jesus, man.
Lenia, you look out the side of the train, and the train is winding its way through the dark, rocky shores along the Bayside line. The tracks themselves are only barely cover the cliff sides that the line runs on. And oftentimes the line will veer out away from the cliffside to avoid some kind of problem. And so you look out of the side of the train and see that it dips straight down into the inky black sea.
I mean, you know how it is. There's no room for burial plots anymore.
You want to put them in your bed? Because that's the only spare compartment that they're going to let us put those in.
I mean,
I'm sorry, is your bed full?
yeah.
Not put them in mine.
Mine usually is every night.
Yikes.
Heyo.
Yikes.
What can I say?
Is
with
it
the
those two
winning
ladies?
smile?
Is that who you're calling?
I don't discriminate.
All right.
You know?
Okay. Nick.
Petunia's a catch. What can I say?
With a winning smile, you're never lonely.
Well, either way, I feel like we should at least tell their families first. I mean, Jesus.
They'll get,
Listen, there's no spirits in them. There's no need to burn them.
They're working the same way we are. Their families
They
are.
were doing a
who
job.
knows?
Their job's done. If you want to find out their names and send their families a letter, by all means. But I say we go figure out where the fuck their spirits got to.
Yeah, we can just prop
Lenia-
them up in a seat real quick. I'll help you.
That's creepy. And Lenia's just gonna rip off a name tag from their shirt and then nod to Booker and go, okay, toss them. Whatever, man. And shove their names in her pocket.
Booker, make sure you get any, chits or anything they have on them.
I know.
Don't want them to go to waste.
Waste.
As Booger picks up the bodies, where's the blood coming from?
You can see as soon as you lift one up that his mouth opens up wide. His teeth are spackled with fresh red blood.
That doesn't look fun. Yeah, he'll check their pockets for loose change and then take them to the nearest exit.
The nearest exit is either the doors between the two trains or a window.
Doors between the two trains. I'm not going to try and shove them out a window. That's too much work.
You open up a
Way
door
too much work.
and you look down for a brief second, and perilously, the train is off one of the cliffs right now. And you look straight down hundreds and hundreds of feet towards the inky void sea.
Oh, well, this is your stop. Just toss them off.
One after the other, the bodies fall with barely any sound, because all you can hear is the gusting winds and the ice-cold rain.
It's going to take a moment, look up, pull out the bottle of whiskey he took from the bar, uncork it, take a drink. Hell of a start to this trip. All right, let's see what's going on. He's gonna try and
Behind
make
you,
a-
Aminta is just leaning against the wall of like cabins here. And when you're done, I'm just gonna look and say, so do you come up with a unique one-liner every time, or is it the same one for every body you ditch?
You know, I don't think I did it on purpose, but I think it's been the same one every time.
We'll,
I think
we'll
this is your
workshop it.
stop.
We'll
You got a better one?
Don't worry, Booker. We'll write some down.
No
I'll give
ticket.
No ticket. I like it. I'll use that one next time.
Just as you dispose of the second of the guards, I forget. I'm keep forgetting the names of these railroad workers. The steward will arrive from the electro car and see that the guards are both gone, and he'll look at the four of you and go, "Oh, what have you done with them?"
They jumped off.
Yeah, man, they went just jumping right out the window. It was wild.
you. Something drove them mad.
I do believe they were dead when I last saw them.
They were. That's why they jumped out.
Which is what makes it extra wild, man.
That's why we're here.
The steward goes ash white and runs past you towards the restroom.
I'm
These
just gonna
people.
double over giggling, just kind of wiping my eyes and looking at Booker like, that was fucking good. That's the real payment.
Any of you all ever set a ghost trap or something?
Yeah. You need one?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can't really do anything until we see a ghost.
Yeah, I got a lightning cage in my gear, if you want it.
Another interesting thought. What if it was someone living who's ripping spirits out of people? That could be anyone on this
mean-
train.
Could be
Probably
those
Petunia. My money's
two old
on
ladies.
It could be you. Or me.
We were all in the same car
mean,
the whole time it happened.
is
I don't
it
think
you?
any of us could have done it.
I kind of wish it was, but no. It would make for a good story, but unfortunately, just doing my job as usual.
I guess the question is, how do we go about finding the thing that did this? Are we gonna start doing like rounds? Are we gonna take patrols?
Well, you still have those straws?
Shit.
Who wants to go topside? That topside.
about the guy with the suit?
Yeah, but we all
Take
have
a straw.
we all have the boots.
Yeah, but he's got the fancy one. You know. I'm just saying, I'm better in here using my eyes, look around.
Are two of us staying in here? Two go topside?
That's what it sounds like is happening.
Alright. Booker, I'll go with you.
Oh, awesome. All right.
All right, thanks.
Not how I saw that playing out, but score.
Never going to happen.
So let's start with the
Your
people
smile.
staying inside the train while the others are getting their gear ready.
That with the 10-foot pole.
That would be, if I remember your names again, Nick and Aminta. Where are you heading?
Support, I guess, right? Watching them from the
Second
inside.
class, man. I want to go into second class. I want to see who's fucking acting spooky.
Okay, well, we go there then. You head down the train past, again, the dining car, the several sleeping cars, and past your own car, and the subtle and pleasant music fades out of sight as out of sight. Wow, that's music. Slowly fades as you approach the second class cars. These are barely considered minimum for being a habitable. Oh geez, why is that so loud? Sorry, all my music is off now. And so you approach the second class car. It is dark. It is full of people. Grimy adults and sickly children are packed deep in this car. From side to side is people. The poorest, the most dirty people you've ever seen. And they are all clinging to one another. They are holding themselves tight as they shrug off the cold. The roof is dripping, and there are pools of icy, murky water in several spots in this car. You can see several individuals are entirely a dusty gray color, wearing similarly bland and simple clothes.
You don't even stick out in here, Aminta.
It's like home. I'm gonna drop down my goggles and just kind of look around. Trying to get a view for any sort of spectral activity, and especially so that weird purple mist I saw.
So at the moment you don't see much, but you do as you look closer. And actually, no, this is a roll you have to do, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you roll
Probably.
insight for your special glasses, and I'll end up telling you the same information anyway. But
Ooh,
Your
2
odds.
plus 2 plus 3, so only 7. So
on a 7 to
hold
9,
on.
hold 1.
One. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so can I hold one of these questions as we're continuing through
Sure.
looking around?
Well, the questions are kind of meant for what you're seeing, but sure, we can do that. You're looking through your goggles and you don't see anything. You don't see spirits. None of these people are, undead of any kind. But you also do notice one thing, and it's something you've only seen a handful of times. But in this car, there seems to be dozens. The people who are purely dusty white are actual hollows. They are people who don't have a spirit. And so people who do have a spirit, so you can kind of see a etherous glow to them just because you have these special goggles. But the hollows, nothing.
And so there's just an abnormal amount of hollows being transported.
Right now, yeah. However, you might also know that hollows might be that way for so many reasons. And if this is second class, they really ought to be in third or fourth. They are looked down upon so hard. And to be hollowed is a fate worse than death.
No,
I'm just gonna kind of nudge Nick and be like, dude, there's a lot of fucking hollows, and this is second class.
Yeah,
What's
you
going
know,
on here?
I never really understood the stigma. I mean, a spirit, not having one sounds pretty cool when, you know, people are getting their spirits stolen and whatnot. But for my modus operandi, as a student of human nature, I would like to just scan the whole area and see if I see anyone visibly stressed or acting strange, more so than normal.
So the very first thing you see, because he's very near the front of the car, is a very small child, no more than 8 years old. He is pale and sickly. He is coughing and wheezing. Behind him, a few rows back, you see a husband taking care of her wife who is pregnant. She happened to hear stealing souls or stealing spirits and panicked for a brief moment. And her husband is trying his best to calm her down.
Don't worry.
Out, Nick.
They don't want any of your spirits. No offense, but I mean, it's a blessing, really. I don't know if we're really going to find answers here. Do we have any kind of comms or anything with the other two?
I don't think so. This is
Do
sort of
we?
a, think first industrial age, sort of was a fantasy world that's been destroyed by the cataclysm. So I'd say probably not unless you have it in your gear.
All right, so then my next question is, do the windows anywhere near me open?
They do open, but they are tiny.
Can I fit my head out one?
Sure.
All right, so since we have no comms, I guess this is how we do it. I'll put on my goggles and stick my head out. You guys see anything up there?
Okay, let's switch to the top of the car. The two of you have donned your gear and you have climbed a ladder up out of your chamber up onto the roof. What are you doing?
Clanking around, looking for ghosts.
Clanking around looking for ghosts.
Yeah, so spider. So Lenia being like a spider, she's gonna move pretty quick, and probably in ways that are a little bit more dangerous, like looking over the side of the cart, jumping between the two of them. You know, if there's like space between one or the other. Keeping an eye out for any movement outside of what she would normally see when she does this, because I would assume this is something she does on a fairly regular basis. Since she's so quick, she can get a patrol done fairly fast.
Sure.
Booker, by the antithesis of that, is in a giant metal suit and just clank, 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 and he barely gets like past one car, probably by the time that Lena's completely done with everything. But he's looking imposing.
What does your heavy encounter suit look like? You want to describe it?
Sure. I don't know. So this is all off the top. It is heavy
Improv.
plate, iron all over this, like a couple like gears to help him actually move the arms because they are big and really heavy. But they kind of like cover just about everything, and there's like a big like iron dome that kind of comes over. It leaves like a slit for eyes on like another piece of metal that's over here, and so just his eyes are outside, and then if he wants to talk, the top metal dome will kind of pull back, and then he can kind of like look over and stuff. But that's pretty much about it. There's a bunch of little like metal rods and tubes and lightning gizmos coming off the back.
So it's an electro-powered suit that basically fully protects you.
Yes, it has I have a gear item with it called an electro field, which I have no idea what it does.
So basically, what you can say whatever it does because I don't know either. That's
what I figured I was gonna do.
This entire game is on 4 pages, and so that means there's very little explanation of anything. But you do know anything lightning is lightning oil powered, and so
gotta use my lightning oil that I have.
Well,
keep
yes,
it running, yeah.
but also lightning oil is the thing that can destroy ghosts, and so
Gotcha.
if you trap it and if you inflict enough harm on a ghost with the with the lightning oil, you will destroy it.
Gotcha.
So the electro field is probably something you can use to, like the other players,
Trap or repel it.
trap or repel ghosts. Yep.
Yep.
So Lenia seeing this so she's wearing kind of like Booker said, the antithesis of his suit. It's going to be antithesis. So you will see her in like a much smaller fitted outfit with a bandolier kind of across her chest with some like 4 different spirit bottles. She will have, it'll look a little bit more like leathered and worn. And she will watch him kind of just bumble around like heavily and just turn around and go, Jesus Christ, Booker, do you think you could upgrade that thing? Like ever? They will make it smaller for you.
Why would I want it smaller?
How can you move in that son of a bitch? Can you touch your nose? Try to touch your nose right now. Yeah, see?
I don't need to touch my nose. I need to touch
I mean, what if
their
you need to
nose.
move quickly?
I'll get there.
Okay.
So, Lenia, as you are basically skating around this train, you check out the entire back section of the train and where you have come up onto the roof. Then you hear Nick calling out of a window at you.
What? Say it again. I didn't hear you. Louder.
What do you see?
We see a train.
Mostly the same shit we see every time we're up here. Nothing
Nope.
new so far.
No shit, Sherlock, one of my favorite authors. But any ghosts?
No ghosts.
Great.
Not that I'm seeing so far.
There's like 30 down here. It's so crazy. You should probably come back inside.
On that note, Lenia and Booker, as you are surveying the top of the train, you see nothing at first. Just the nearly deafening roar of the ice-cold rain and the crash of the ink-black sea. You look first towards the back of the train to ensure nothing is following you, then towards the engine car. Suddenly, in a burst of energy, you see the first of a rogue spirit. Glowing red hot, like embers, the figure of a man lurches towards you from the front of the train. Scarring the surface of the dining car, a line of fire erupts behind him with every step. And he's coming towards you.
This is why I wear the suit. Booker's gonna turn around and start charging towards them.
Charging? You sure about that?
He's moving faster, but I mean, he's not moving fast.
Okay.
Lenia is, since she is at the tail end of the car, she is very quickly making her way to the front towards Booker.
Okay.
And because we have our the magnetic boots, can I have Lenia go down the side to come up behind? I want to come up behind the creature.
Sure. As you do that, as you make the corner of the car onto the side of the car, you do have to step over the windows so you don't fall into nothingness. And as you do, just from the corner of your eye, you see something, but then, just like that, it's gone. So you're heading towards the man of fire, trying to circumvent him, correct?
Correct.
Are you letting Nick or Aminta know that there is a rogue spirit out here?
I probably would have shouted something on my way running, but I would not have stopped specifically. No.
I feel like everyone on the train knows with Booker stamping around on top of it.
A Roxbury? What do you mean, Roxbury?
Jesus
Hello?
Christ, if you guys want to come up and help, and she's just taking
Nick,
off.
I'm hearing a lot of stomping. I think it's on up there.
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
Let's go.
Speaking of which, Minta, I need you to either roll finesse or steal. Finesse to avoid or steal to endure.
Oh shit. Steal.
Please roll plus steal for me.
2 + 4, so a 6, which means
So what you're going to do is you're going to choose one that you don't want to happen, and it will. I should have asked you for that ahead of time before you rolled.
I want to freeze up and leave myself wide open.
Unfortunately,
That's embarrassing.
you feel something hot drip down onto your shoulder, and it burns you. So you're going to take, let's say, 3 harm. As something burns into the side of your shoulder.
Fuck, Nick, fuck.
What?
What the fuck?
Did you get under some of the hot oil again?
What do I see above me?
Are you wearing your goggles?
Yes.
You'll see the definite aura of a rogue spirit. What they are doing is they are on the top of the car that you are inside of, and they're sticking themselves into the car above you, as if passing through the metal. And you see right away the flesh of this. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, the flesh of this man is basically dripping off of him and sliding down and hitting you. His full face is acid burned, and he sees you now.
All right, I'm coming.
They're
I'm
up there.
coming.
They're up there.
Yep.
Nick and Aminta, the second-class car erupts in screams, and everyone rushes towards the back of the car.
Yeah,
It's
get
very
out of my
full.
way.
There is no room for them to escape.
Everybody down. Just lower down, and then I'm gonna step up and be ready to lightning hook. And I guess instead of removing them from the train, we are trying to pull them down to the same level because they're halfway through. You said, right?
They are like basically they are kneeling on the top of the train, sticking their head through the train ceiling.
I'm gonna pull out my crimson elixir and pull up the car and just down that really quick.
What does the
Remove
crimson
harm.
elixir do? What does it do?
It removes 1 harm.
Cool.
I
You
believe.
can move your harm back to 2.
Okay.
So I think I need to roll force if I'm trying to hook this thing.
Yes, I would recommend that. Yes, you
I'm
are.
s-
Well, actually, if you're hooking, you might be doing finesse. Up to you.
Okay. That is more so how Nick would do it. So that works out. Yeah, I'm just going to jump to action and try to lightning hook it around the neck to just bring it down onto our level.
What does that look like? Or what? Well, actually, I'm gonna make you roll before I ask you what it looks like.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Do I have to keep rolling for things? Ugh, games always getting in the way.
Oh, never mind the bonus. So great, a 6 total.
You didn't add your +2?
That is adding my +2.
Woof. Okay then.
Oh, I have a -2.
You used your -2, didn't you?
You got
Give me
2
another
-2s and
Ooh.
and the +2 after.
So that is a 4. Thanks, Mr. Rogers.
So on a less than 7, you fail what you're going to do, and you will probably put yourself into danger. You go to, or I guess the worst outcome is also possible. You go to hook the ghost into your lightning hook, and you charge it up using your lightning oil. Please mark off one of your lightning oil uses. And it, as you go to throw it, it pulls its head back, and your lightning hook smashes into the top of the car. You don't catch it, and now it is on the top of the train, where your friends are.
Great. Well, Aminta, looks like we're going topside. Hurry! And I run to the where the door is to go up top.
Yep, I'm following him.
So you leave the door and you grab onto the ladder that reaches up over the side of the car and onto the roof. You also see something skitter just past your sight, but it's gone before you get to the top of the roof of the car. Now that we're all here together, you get to the top of the car and you see it ahead of you. It is the acid-burned man. And if you look behind you, you'll see the man who is walking slowly towards Booker, with covered in an aura of fire.
Okay.
Let's head back to Booker for a second. Booker, let's say you've caught up to this ghost wreathed in flame.
Yeah. I think I'm going to question, because I know what I want to do. I want to try and grab his attention and keep him focused on me.
Okay.
There's also a roll that I think we're supposed to make at the start of things for against the supernatural, which I'd like to take the lead on this. I'd kind of charge at him, hopefully.
Sure. So you are, if you think you are leading the bulls against the ghosts, that's totally fine with me. A lot of the questions are no's anyway, so we can avoid them. But you're going to roll just 2d6, and then we'll do 1, 2, or 3 other things below.
I think... Yeah, I'm just trying to read through. I don't think I have any pluses or any minuses off of it. So
that's kind of why I avoided it, because we don't have any of those, but go ahead.
I'm just going to roll one of my other skills that I don't have any things on right now. 8.
So on a 7 to 9, you choose one of the below. You seize the initiative, you maintain an orderly disposition. The bulls are deployed where you want them and are ready for action. Or you seize a particular opportunity or advantage. Bulls take +1 ongoing while exploring that advantage.
I'm gonna go with the the second one.
Okay.
Maintain orderly. So we got everyone in position, and I'm gonna kind of, that's everyone getting around and surrounding it, I think, is the way I perceive
so
that.
if you are leading the bulls, where are the people that you want them, and where are you directing them to?
I think they're all where they went, basically. I was gonna just take it as reason for how they got where they got.
Yeah, just
what a thrilling conclusion.
Sure, I can take a different one, give +1 to everyone, but
to lay it out for me, you're saying there's 2 different ghosts, right?
Currently, yes.
Yes.
There's one who is wreathed in flame, and one who is burned to a crisp. Well, not burned to a crisp, burned in acid.
me and Aminta run up, and it's probably like a scene where they're walking this way side by side, and we walk this way side by side because one of them burned Aminta, and she's really all about revenge and whatnot. So us two are attacking that one, and it's
Gotcha.
like back to back, and we're like pushing them this way is what I see in my brain.
Gotcha. I think I understood it as one. So in that case, I'll just do the +1 to everyone for now.
Cool.
But what I do get is
If you do that one, I'm going to have to ask you,
Okay.
what is your particular opportunity or advantage?
With the one trying to, because you said one of them tried to come up through the roof.
Mhm.
I think as it kind of tried to come up through the roof, it's like got stuck or something is holding it back, and it's trying to still move up through it, so it's not completely through.
Okay, sure.
Makes sense.
So you're saying Nick and Aminta have a little bit of extra time so
Yep.
they can get a grapple on the situation.
Yep. And in addition, as an anchor, I get to draw the ghost's attention to me.
Okay, sure. I would say, I guess, as the anchor, you secure the ghost's attention and draw it into contact with you using steel. So if you want to roll steel for me,
Sure.
to basically ice up your glare and steel yourself against the situation.
It's another 8.
On a 7 to 9, you do you do the one you didn't pick. GM chooses.
So I needed to have picked one on on steel.
So pick one that you're going to do, and avoid the one you don't want to happen above all else.
Yeah.
The options for those listening at home are freeze up, leave myself wide open, panic, disengage and flee, collapse, let go or give up, rage, lose control or do unintended harm, or suffer more trauma or harm. So
I don't want to freeze up. So
you don't want to freeze up, okay?
Yep.
And so I'm gonna give you one that you don't want to do.
Yeah, you pick which one, but you can't pick freeze up.
Okay, I have a good idea for this then. Okay. You hold the ghost, the spirit who is burning, with leaving a trail of fire behind him. And unfortunately, that means that there is the third rogue spirit can focus its attention on Lenia.
When the hell did the third one get here? Why aren't you guys letting me know? Come on, communication.
I didn't
I'm
see
just
him.
fucking hearing about it.
We'll get back to how you're beating this one up in a second, but because I mentioned it, I'll go over to Lenia right now. Lenia, you are trying to circumvent this ghost wreathed in flame, and you see it a second time. Something skitters out of view, and then back into view because it sees you, and it knows it has a chance with you. Clinging also to the side of the train is what looks like an awful gray crab, and it takes you a moment to realize it. This is a man who's been crushed. His body is collapsed in on itself, and he is clinging to the side of the train, and with one eye in his crushed state, he sees you and charges towards you. What do you do?
Yeah, so you will see Lenia from the side of the train. She will grab a hold of one of the window panes and slide herself into the inside of the car. And as she lands, ready to fire her web thrower, which is essentially just like lines of lightning with two little end hooks, and they kind of just hook around, and she's going to be aiming for some sort of appendage or two appendages to kind of like keep it wrapped and wrangled.
Okay, you burst into the sleeping compartment of one of the upper class guests, and they are in the middle of sleeping, so they freak out. They are screaming. They are clutching their blankets as close to them as they can. And you back up against the door and wait for this thing to find you. It sticks one of its appendages into the car with you and pulls the other one on the other side and lurches itself in through the window. And as you do that, a lightning web wraps around this strange rogue spirit and traps it to the floor. What do you do now?
I'm going to, from the bandolier, pop one of the lightning oil bottles and attempt to capture it.
Sure. Make an argument for me. Are you trying to inflict harm by using force, or are you trying to finesse it to just go in the bottle? Because
since it is technically restrained, she would probably just try to finesse it first, and if not, then go, all right, well, if you're gonna make this fucking hard, then here we go.
So I mentioned that lightning oil is the way to destroy a spirit, and I think what I need to do is I'll make you roll finesse only once, but it'll be both. Does the web actually destroy the spirit, and 2, does what was I gonna say? Do you get it to sink into the bottle?
Okay. So 6, 7, 8, 9 total. Because I have the 2 plus the 1 for being nimble.
So on a 7 and 9, you would normally do 1. You either do it quickly, you avoid trouble, compromise, or cost, or you do it impressively, stylishly, or with greater effect. I would say that with that, you can say that it does destroy the spirit, but it does not willingly go into the bottle. So you need to do something more to get it captured.
Then I will take, I will turn to the people who are probably screaming in horror, and I'll say, pull those up over your heads and then just try to stomp on its head.
Okay.
But telling the people to cover their eyes first.
Roll plus force for me, please.
Oh, jeez. Seven total.
On a 7 to 9, you choose 1. You inflict great harm, you suffer little harm, or you drive them back, seize something, or create an opportunity.
Yeah, so I will inflict great harm.
Okay. You smash down on this thing, and with its last strength, the form of this ghost will collapse and turn to electroplasm, the goo that remains when you've destroyed a rogue spirit. It is incredibly volatile, but also, again, trapped in your lightning web, you have a spirit that is fighting with every whim to get out.
I will hold it there.
Yep.
And start making my way down the car, walking fast.
Make my way down, car, walking fast, ghost ass.
Yeah.
And I'm caboose bound.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That was very good.
Let's say you race after this thing and you will catch it eventually. That's going to put you out of the fight for a bit while you catch it. You track it down. Back to the top of the car. It's been a while since we've talked to Nick and to Aminta. You have gotten to the top of the car, and you have enough time to assemble yourselves around this thing before it finally makes its way out of the second-class car. It leers at you, and whoever wants to take a bullet, roll me some plus finesse.
I'm sorry, whoever wants to take a bullet?
One of you's getting hit.
I mean, listen, I already got 2 harm, so please, someone else volunteer.
This is my job. You're just the smarts here, or whatever.
Sorry, you're not rolling finesse. Sorry, this is a weird system. You're rolling steel.
Yeah.
You're steeling yourself up against injury, duress, or supernatural horrors.
Yeah, I get my lightning hook ready, and I'm, of course, in the front lines just based on our rolls. So roll steel.
Before you roll steel, tell me one that you do not want to happen.
Okay, so on steel, one you don't want to happen.
See, I'm doing it right this time.
Why can I not find it? Because I'm probably looking
Steel is at the
on
very
area.
top. When you steel yourself against injury, duress, or supernatural
Yeah.
horrors, choose one you do not want. Freeze up, leave myself wide open, panic, disengage, flee, collapse, let go, give up, rage, lose control, do unintended harm, suffer more trauma or harm.
I can only pick one I don't want.
Correct.
Frick. I don't want to panic, disengage, and flee, I guess. So, also, I accidentally marked harm, and I can't remove it. Do you know how to
Hey,
remove
same.
it?
I was actually going to ask that, but I've just been trying to keep a
As
mental
far as
note.
I can tell, there is not a way, and it's a very bad character sheet,
Okay.
so I apologize for that, even
Yeah.
though it looks very pretty.
It is very pretty. Okay, I'll just remember that I don't actually have it.
Oh, I do remember
yet.
actually now. You just need to go into attributes and abilities and just change the number there.
Oh, okay, cool. So steel, I now have a +2 from Sir Heck, so thank you. And that'll be a 9 total.
Okay. On a 9 total for steel, you do one you didn't pick. So which should you choose?
I said I don't want to disengage and flee.
Cool. What's going to happen is you are going to suffer more trauma or harm because you've put yourself in front of the line to protect Aminta in some way. And you see it before you have a chance to react to it, and you can't dodge out of the way. So you just still yourself to the pain as you see the rogue spirit ball up some spit and chuck it at you, and a ball of acid comes flying at you.
Oh, not the face, not the face.
You're going to take 2 harm, please.
Now the question is how do you mark 2 harm?
Let's find out.
You click on the pizza slices.
But that does it goes.
Oh, it only does it in 3 sections, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
What?
so
I can
so
do it one by one.
What?
There's a number next to each pizza slice that says 3, 6, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12.
Oh, yeah, that is-
Oh.
it's a kind of a bad system, honestly. I don't understand it. But if you want to write it down somewhere, so let's see what happens if I do that.
It gives you 2 quadrants.
Interesting. Not totally sure how to use the system
Cool.
yet. So
All right.
let's just say you have 3, unfortunately.
That's fine too.
You have a segment.
1 segment.
Oh, Jesus. 1 segment. Why, Jesus. Okay. You have 3 harm, so 1 segment.
Oh, where does it hit me?
I'm going to say right in the chest.
Oh, beautiful. Ah, okay, that's way better than the face. Chicks dig scars, but not on the face.
As a point of scars, there is a rule in this game: you can avoid an instance of harm or trauma by choosing to mark a scar or horror, respectively, instead. Scars and horror are permanent. Fill them in clockwise. So if you want to avoid some harm later down the line, you will take a scar or a horror based on if you're taking harm or trauma.
I was talking metaphorical scars.
Cool. Aminta, what are you doing?
Okay, so I have a question. Can I throw my lightning oil?
You'd have to explain to me what you're doing with it, Because I think it's more of a fuel than it is a specific...
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about. Like, if it's like in a nice little canister and I can like chuck it like a ghostly, deadly water balloon. But
So
no, I'll use
Ghost
my lightning
clearing
hook
gear
then.
runs on Leviathan oil, aka lightning oil. One use will power up an item, and the GM may charge further oil uses depending on circumstances or the outcome of rolls. So I'd say it specifically is there to help you use your items.
Sweet. Well, then I am just going to use my lightning hook to try and get the one that just hucked that at us.
Okay. I have to remember that the rook has a heavy lightning hook, which is more powerful than a regular lightning hook. Cool. You're going to use force then. Because you were trying to instill pain, right? Or you're trying to inflict harm.
8. A 5 plus 3.
On an 8, you choose one. You inflict great harm, suffer little harm in return, or you drive them back.
So
Or see something
I
more.
would like
create an
to
opportunity.
I would like to inflict great harm. We've got 3 right now. I'm trying to reduce.
Okay. So little numbers in this game. It's hard to really say what's going on. You are... you kind of smack this thing with your lightning hook, and a chunk of its flesh, as it is wont to do, rips from its body and hurls off the side of the train. And it, again, it tried to raise itself to stand against you, instead crumples back down again.
Okay.
You think if you were hit this with a heavy lightning hook, or again with your regular lightning hook, you might be able to succumb. It might succumb to you.
Okay. Okay.
Nick, do you want to attack it as well?
Yeah, I guess I should. That is my job, having the lightning hook. So I'm going to whip out at it, and what would you like me to roll?
Okay, we are going to roll. Sorry. Are you trying to inflict harm?
Most certainly.
Then use force, please.
You got it.
Remember, you get a +1 going forward for my running the bulls thing too.
Oh, right.
Hey, thank you. Oh, wow. What just happened? I popped out my dice on accident. That's 8. My roll 20 just went wild.
Looks like a 10 to me.
Looks like a 10 to me as well.
Sorry, yes, 10.
Yeah.
I like double clicked on the chat box and roll 20 went all wild.
Mm-hmm.
On a 10 to 11, you do 2 of the things under force.
Okay. Let me pull this back up. Under force. My music just cut out too. Yeah, so I'm going to definitely inflict great harm, and then my purpose is to get them off the train. So basically I'm going to get them and just tighten it into them, just cutting through them a little bit, and try to just throw them off into the side of a cliff or whatever is next to us, if possible.
Sure. Do you want to describe it? Because you're going to destroy them.
Awesome. Yeah, so I don't know what a heavy lightning hook is really supposed to look like, but mine is definitely more lasso based, because why not? So just like, and it just like cuts into them like it's being lassoed with barbed wire, and then I just whip it off of the train and it just smashes into the side of a cliff.
Aminta, do you try to catch this spirit before it vanishes away?
I mean, if I can. I wasn't sure if I could, like, I wasn't sure if that was, like, my turn or
We're going one ghost at a time at this point. So,
okay.
Flavor it however you like.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the lasso, except mine's more just like an actual hook that will just embed itself into their spiritual matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna try and like rip through it, shredding their essence.
You are able to funnel it into a spirit bottle, and the electroplasm splats against the side of the cliffs and falls to the sea below. Last but not least, we are finally back to Booker, who has been holding this fiery beast at bay.
Yeah, I think Booker, similarly, his lightning hook also doesn't look like anyone else's, and it's more of like a lightning baton, kind of like just like a stun stick that he's got that's got like lightning going up and down it, and he's gonna kind of be engaging with this fiery ghost, trying to keep it away from everyone else, and then also gonna try and hit it with his lightning baton.
Lightning baton, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyone who used a lightning hook recently, please mark the lightning oil uses you've used, 1-to-1. If you're going to try to attack it, then you need to roll plus force for me, like your other line bowls.
Do I get that +1 as well, or no? Because it was for the one that went through the wall.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
You separated it, so you're only dealing with one at a time?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Alright, so that's an 8. Which is I do one of the things? Is that right?
Correct.
I'll go with the massive harm.
You inflict great harm.
Yeah, that one.
Cool. Describe it for me. You know you're going to need to just harm it some more before it'll fall up. It'll dissipate. But
Yep.
What does it look like when you use your lightning baton?
So I think kind of like it's probably, since everyone else kind of is going doing things, it's probably taken a little while, but he's like trying to hold it off with one hand in the heavy armor suit.
Mhm.
It's probably getting hot and not enjoyable, but in the other hand, he's kind of got the baton and he's like, stay back, and he's gonna just like smack it upside the head with the baton, and that's gonna do some, maybe make the ghost a little bit foggy for a while.
Okay. The ghost does kind of collapse under your lightning stick, but with that, he is able to kind of turn and touches more of your suit. Roll plus steel to steel yourself against injury or duress.
Okay.
And choose one before you roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the collapse give up option this time. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Dang, you do none of them. So you have you steel yourself excellently against the heat of this monster, and are able to get another attack in if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give him another what 4? We'll swing again. That's 10.
Excellent. What are you doing?
I'll take the the third option. I'll just do the massive harm and little harm in return.
Okay, cool. So you smack him upside the head again, pushing him back away from your armor, and you are not going to be inflicted with any harm this time, but his form dissolves even more than it did before, and you have the opportunity to catch it in one of your spirit bottles.
What does catching a spirit bottle do for us? Just out of curiosity. Is that just what we're told to do?
You're told to, yeah. You need to
Okay.
basically the land of the Shattered Isles, because the gates of death have been broken.
Mm-hmm.
A free spirit could go back and haunt other people in the future if it gained enough power.
So what Booker is going to do is he's not going to catch it. not necessarily on purpose, but I think it's just what happens. But he's gonna hit this ghost so hard with the baton that it's gonna fly off the train, and its flaming body's gonna end up into the sea below us. And seeing that, like not realizing it happened, Booker's gonna stop, look over, and go, "No ticket," and then walk back over.
Nice.
With that awful one-liner, you have successfully destroyed all the ghosts you can see thus far. You take a chance to walk up and down the line of the cars, and by this chance, Lenia, you would have caught up with your spirit in tow, and you think for now everything looks okay. With that, we need to take a break because I've gone on for almost 2 hours, and I apologize for that. But this is exactly where I wanted us to be at this time. So please take a 15-minute break. We will see you all a little bit after 10:10, or around 10:10. So see y'all later. Hello and welcome back to Derelectric, a one-shot of ghost lines on TPK Roleplay. Let's get the thunder sound effects rolling. And it is time to continue our story. As soon as I find it. Who's the last one up on the top of the car?
I mean,
Probably
obviously
our
Booker.
anchor.
I'm the first one up there. Are we like getting off the top of the car?
Getting
Which one?
off and back into the
Oh,
train.
it's off. Okay, that's me then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have the most pieces to disassemble before you can get out of the suit, etc. That makes sense.
Should've
So,
drawn straws.
Booker, as you are waiting for the other line bulls to get back into the train, you see something in the distance. It's a huge, huge cloud, a dark storm. You've driven basically right into a storm while you've been fighting the ghosts, and you didn't even notice it.
Well, that's gonna make things interesting.
Cool.
Does it look like it's lightning in this storm?
Oh yes, there are definitely some flashes, and you can hear the thunder already.
It's a lore note. Does
Uh,
lightning in the storms scare away ghosts, or does it bring more?
I don't know.
I can make up whatever lore I want.
I would say basically that lightning itself doesn't actually affect ghosts, but it's what humanity has done to
To the
channel lightning and to distill lightning oil or Leviathan oil is how you can control them. So they wouldn't be scared by the lightning strikes because it wouldn't draw lightning to them. But however, something is going to happen in a moment. You step down into the car and you seal up the hatch, and just as you do, a crack of deep, dark lightning ricochets around the inside of the not thunder, not lightning, thunder ricochets around the inside of the car, and without warning, you're blasted back on your backs and into the walls as lightning is hurled down from the skies with an ungodly force. It connects with the Electro Rail's lightning rod and collects an unbelievable, immense amount of power. With that, the train lurches forward with vigor. Then another lurch as you all slide towards the windows as the train veers off of its trajectory and directly towards the inky void of the Void Sea.
Are we supposed to make turns on this trip?
This doesn't feel right.
What do you do?
Kind of look out a window?
Sure.
I'm putting on my goggles and peeking around.
So, Booker, when you look out the window, you see nothing but sea, and very quickly, the shores of Akoros are being left behind.
Can I see the railway continuing on the shore?
If you open up the window and look out through the window, you can see that the railway towards the Imperial City does head off against the shore, and off into the distance. You are not on it.
I'm looking out the window. Can I look down?
Yes.
What
You
are
look-
we on?
You look down, you are on a track, one that runs perpendicular to the Bayside line. And below you is track, and then long, spindly, wooden, decaying, basically pillars that are only holding up just the rail. And they sway back and forth. You can feel it under your feet as the train goes along this new path unexpectedly.
What
Fuck is going on, Booker?
Yeah, what do you see? You can speak to us.
I think we're taking a detour.
Nope,
What
don't
do you
like
mean,
that.
detour?
I mean, intentionally or unintentionally?
I'm guessing unintentionally, but we'd have to speak with the conductor on that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And
we're not going to the
Lenny is going to
Imperial
take
City
off
right
towards
now.
the front of the train.
I'll
Lena,
follow.
you take off towards the front of the train, pushing past confused and shocked merchant guests. Before I leave all of you, Aminta, before you leave your station, or as you're leaving your station, are you still wearing your goggles, and are they charged?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to react to it because you are kind of steadfast on following Lenia, or I mean, you can say otherwise, but you see that the hallway to your left, towards the rear of the train, has filled up with that purple mist again. Do you follow Lenia, or do you check it out?
No, I'm gonna call out to Lenny. I'm like, Lenny, wait! And then I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And kind of just go up to the hallway, moving kind of slow, and peeking in, like, what is going on in here? What is this mist?
As you get towards the rear of the car, towards the door that connects your car to the second class car, it smells wrong.
No, I wish you guys would talk more before you start running all sorts of different directions. What the hell's the plan here?
I mean,
I'm
to be
seeing-
fair, I thought the fucking train was going off the rails, so, I mean, we should probably get a driver.
What are you gonna do if it goes off the rails? If it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails.
We're on
I
the
mean,
rails. Don't worry.
Shut up! There's weird shit in here I've never seen before.
Other than you, what is it?
It's like weird fucking purple mist. Do you guys smell that?
Don't
I don't know, do we?
be from the lightning.
It depends. How in tune with the spirit world do you think you all are? Is it purely a job, or have you sort of stuck your head into the spiritual realm a little bit?
Yeah, I would have said no to the first one. When we say the second one, I feel like it's maybe a yes.
It just depends on your attitude towards spirits and ghosts. Have you looked into the macabre more than you would probably let anyone in your career know?
Yep. I'll say I know nothing. I stick more to romance than macabre, so
You're only in it for the fame, or
Well,
lack
I
thereof.
love the fame, saving people, serving the great immortal emperor, but the ghosts, yeah, not my job, not my cup of tea.
How would you, Aminta?
I'm fascinated by the death. I'm fascinated by how they seem to keep their form after they move on, like squished crab guy. The whole thing is very morbidly interesting to me. So yeah, I've looked into it, but it's also like me just like hooking them, bottling them, doing all that shit. That is definitely just the job, but like I kind of enjoy it.
And so, actually, I've realized what I was asking was, Lenny, you're off and away. I guess Purple, you're the only one left. Does Booker, does Amazon a bit feel the same as Aminta?
No, I don't think he's really. Again, I think it's mostly just a job. But the last thing you said, I think, kind of is a weird one that kind of struck. You said, "Have they stuck their head in?" And given his
that was
big old
more
scar, I think, in a sense, he kind of has. But no, he hasn't like looked into it or understood it.
So you can tell this of your comrades if you like. This is a smell that you are familiar with, because you've realized it the more and more you've gone into this work, and the more you've kind of studied the spirits. This is the smell of death. Something that only the attuned could really smell. And
It smells like it's like almost sweet.
Hmm?
It's death.
Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer, don't get weird on us now.
Who's Jeffrey
Hey,
Dahmer?
man,
Old
Dude,
legend.
He was this like crazy old line bull that like just went out and won too many fucking runs and completely lost it. He at one point tried to eat a fucking passenger. It was a whole mess, kind of an embarrassment. It's been one of the main reasons we've had such a hard time forming a union. They always bring up Jeffrey Dahmer.
He always said they tasted so sweet.
You know, he did say that.
Anyways, this communication is not the type I was talking about. So we going towards this smell you're
No.
smelling?
It smells like death in here, and there's a weird fucking purple mist that I had never seen before. I don't know what's going on.
Well, put on our masks and freaking trudge to victory, right?
Yeah, but does someone want to go up with Lenia while I check this out? So she's not alone up there?
Just give me a second. I left something back in my
I'll
room. I'll go real quick.
Emerson, what are you doing?
I'll go with.
So Lenia, you and Emerson are going to the front of the train to seek out the conductor and the engineer. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, if the train is legitimately doing things that we as bulls know it would not normally be doing, then I would assume the origination would be wherever the train is being controlled from. So that's where she would go first.
Sounds good. You take off at a sprint, running through the halls. The guests on the train are confused and worried, and some of them are crying. They can see that they are in the middle of the Void Sea, which is never a good sign. I wouldn't say this is water. You can look down into the sea and sometimes see the stars, but most of the time it is a cold, icy, deadly kind of sea. As you head towards the front of the car, you see the red pool of blood that the guards had left behind, and just ahead of that is the Electra Room, which is the place where the Electromen will channel lightning to power the Electro Rail. Do you enter the Electro Room?
Lenia would probably stop and give a listen against a door first before just storming in to see if there's people moving inside there or if she can hear anything weird.
You don't hear anything weird. What you do hear, now you're closer to the front of the train, is that the train is It's not a steam engine, but it's chugging. The engine is churning much louder than it should be.
Okay, so if I recognize that, I will open the door.
You open the door between the cars and you step into the lecture room, and there are two men, but you can tell by their uniforms are lecture men who control the electricity that controls the train, have been scorched by a huge bolt of lightning. On their chests, you can see a black smudge of burnt fabric and flesh. They might still be alive, but they are down. For one moment, we're going to switch to the back of the train. Aminta, you take charge. What are you doing?
I'm looking around with my goggles on, like trying to, like, if possible, like, is it just hanging about in like kind of a swirling cloud, just kind of hanging mist? Or is it almost like it's got a trail that I could potentially follow, like it's someone's like almost like a ghost scent that they left that my glasses or my goggles are picking up?
Both the mist that you are getting from your goggles and the smell you're smelling of faint smell of death is getting worse and worse as you slowly creep towards the second class car.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna look back at Nick and be like, I think we're heading into the second class car.
Yep, I just had to get my gas mask. I got it right here, and very sadly, it's all the way out in my shed, so I couldn't actually grab it. Sad.
How dare you not bring the right props?
I know, I should have had it prepared, but put on the gas mask, ready to.
And you're joining
go.
Aminta?
Yes, through the purple fog.
Okay, the two of you open the door slowly and leer into the second class car. Aminta, you're the only one who can see the purple mist that basically fills this room. And even though you can't see it, Nick, you both choke for a second, almost as if it is a smoke. And I need you both to roll plus steal. Tell me what you don't want to do, and then I'll tell you what's happening.
I guess I don't want to rage on this one, so.
Okay.
Dude, again, I do not. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to freeze up because I don't want to take more harm.
Okay.
So, like, it's kind of like either one of those I don't want to happen.
Sounds good.
I rolled
Both
a
of you-
6.
Okay.
I got a 10.
On a 10 plus, you do none of them, so you are okay. You are trained in death and have a strange fascination with it. And even still, you feel sick to your stomach. However, you rolled a 6, Cole, correct?
Yup.
You don't want to rage, lose control, or do unintended harm.
Yup.
I'll let you decide how you do it, but you are going to hurt Aminta. And what happens when you enter this room? Everybody, every single spirit, every single body is dead. The child is dead. All of the hollows have been stripped of any sort of life. And every child, woman, man, and otherwise are dead. Aminta, with your spirit goggles, you can see that they still have their spirits with them. But they are, how does the game put this? Undead. They're just a spirit at this point, but they're not moving. They're not undead like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, so I immediately, not being able to see too much, but seeing all of this, thinking we're just absolutely going to be bombarded by ghosts, whip out my lightning hook and just start lashing out everywhere and probably strike Aminta across the side.
Aminta, let's see.
You are also muted.
I'm gonna yell back and just be like, Nick, get your shit together.
They're all around us, though. They're everywhere.
Kind of like get my lightning cage ready.
Nick, I want you to take 1 trauma, so mark off that top section.
Got it.
And Luca, you rolled well enough that you don't have to take harm or trauma, or you're going to take 1 point of harm because Nick lashed
the whole
out.
Pizza slice.
I don't know. Yes.
Okay.
So you're at 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh no, you're at 3 because you've healed 1, so you would be back at 3 again, I think, right?
Okay.
Cool. The rules make a little sense, and I need to look more into Apocalypse World to really understand them, but I think it might just be a weird mix of the character sheet. Anywho, so Nyx rages for a moment. He lashes out and hits you square across the face, bloodying you for a moment, and you steady him, and you head out of the car.
No, actually, since these are all dead bodies with spirits, I would rather not have any spirits separate from these bodies. So I am going to take out my lightning cage, which is like a series of like rods that like basically forms like a cage of lightning arcing to keep spirits trapped within it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am just going to take 2 of the rods and throw them down at the end of the car, and then throw down 2 right here, so it's like forming a big rectangle in the car. Try and keep all these spirits within this car while we go deal with whatever is happening.
Okay. You cover them with your basically net of electricity, and it crackles as it works away at you, keeping them contained for now. I'll say as a warning, it'll only last for so long, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. It might be a hard move against you if you fail a roll.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure at some point, like, the charge will just run out.
Yeah.
But I will turn back to Nick and just be like, we gotta figure out what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, good. Quick thinking on the cage. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. It was really hard to breathe, and then I swear they were just all around us.
I mean, they were. I get it, but like, you gotta get your shit together, man.
Yeah. Where is everybody else?
I think up front. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this train, why we're going so fast, or why it feels so wobbly, but we gotta figure shit out.
Yeah, trains, as far as I'm concerned, don't switch tracks on accident. I don't know. Maybe I'm...
Also, whole cars of people don't just drop dead, so...
Maybe I've been reading too many mystery novels, but I don't know if it's only ghosts at play here.
Nah, for sure it's not.
Hey,
but it also doesn't sound like a possession party. Can I look and see if there's any sign of how these people died?
You want to roll insight for me?
Yes. I got a 9.
On a 7 and 9, you hold 1, so you can ask me 1 question.
What's really going on here?
How
How
did-
did these people die? Like, under what, like, was there some mass device? Was there a gas released into this chamber? Like, do you know, like, were they all stabbed one by one, strangled in their sleep?
Something clicks in you. Something that you didn't actually ask her name, but her name was, let's see, her name is Madame Pritchard, and her sister Petunia mentioned something that Lenya kind of made a joke about. And she said, do you think Prince Pentalion has actually been consorting with demons? I hear all the royals in Aruvia are demons. And you think that's ridiculous. You know better than that. But you have heard stories of witches. And that's when things start falling into place for you. This mist that you've never seen before certainly is intertwined with the spirit world, but it's not a spirit. You think there might be a witch.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back and just kind of put my hand on Nick's shoulder and be like, listen, I'm having a thought. You need to be fucking careful. Let's go find the others. But I think we've got someone using, like, old magic.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
I know I just gave you -1 insight, but I'm just going to ask you to roll a straight up and down insight roll for me.
I think you only get -1 insight for horror, not trauma.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, do you want to give me horror?
I meant to give you horror, but I said trauma, so we'll stay where it is.
Okay, so you want me to roll insight?
Yes.
Yeah, as she's saying that, and I'm kind of thinking, you can't just say things like that and not explain them. We've gone over this. And my insight is a 7.
I'll say that's good enough. You, in your rage, and now that you've calmed down a moment, you get a chance to look at everyone in this car. There's something missing here. Because you only rolled a 7, I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you want to guess. But something is missing.
Something is missing. Thing or one?
Maybe someone.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling we should somehow see what bodies are here and who might be missing. I don't know, man. What were you saying? Something about something other than ghosts?
Yeah, and I'm gonna drop my voice really low and just look at him and say, I think there is a fucking witch on board.
You mean other than you?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that ain't good. Woo!
Like a real one.
Are we getting paid a bonus for this?
Dude, we better. What do you mean something's missing? You're missing something.
I don't. Maybe someone. I mean, it's smart to just make sure all the bodies are all the people, right?
Can I look, like scan back over the room and
Mhm.
see if I notice who's missing, what's missing?
You were in the room the first time that we came here, right?
Mhm.
With whom? Was it Nick as well?
I think it was the whole crew, wasn't it?
Okay. Oh no, you split up because you were gonna. Half of you went into the. Anyway, you were here last
Nick
time.
and I came in here. They went up on the roof.
There we go. That's what it was. I remember that. Do you, Luca, remember who I specifically mentioned was in this car?
The child
And
other people.
The father and the wife.
Luca, you don't see the father and the wife. With that,
The
we are.
child's there.
The child is dead.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of Emerson and Lenia, you are in the lecture room.
What?
You are in the lecture room, and there are two men either dead or unconscious below you. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I mean, Lenya would absolutely, probably without doing too much thinking, run over and at least see if they're alive and with spirits or with their souls.
Amison is going to kind of look out for danger.
Emerson, you look towards the final door on this train that leads to the engine room. What do you do?
I'm gonna, I guess, Lenia, what's wrong with them? I don't see anyone else here or any ghosts. What happened? I'm gonna kind of pace back and forth and try and cover her while she inspects.
Just let me see if I can get them stabilized, and then we got to get this train to not be derailed. So I'll just try to like pull them, sit them up, just make sure they're at least, if they are dead, sat gently. If not, attempt to stabilize them.
You tell me, are they alive or are they dead?
I would like to think that not everybody dies, but
Okay.
also it sounds pretty vicious. So if you would want me to roll on some sort of like finesse,
I'm not going to make you
see-
roll. I'm just asking.
Okay.
Are they alive or are they dead?
Yeah, I would like for them to survive.
They are barely breathing, but they are breathing.
Okay. Then I will make sure I set them like off to the side, wrap up whatever wounds I think are most pertinent to take care of, and then meet back up with Amison and start heading towards the engine room.
You pull on the door and open your way towards the engine room. As with most trains, there are two doors between every set of cars. And so as you do, you look down and see the inky void of the ocean a little closer this time than you did before. Maybe you're going down, or maybe the sea is getting shallower. But you push that thought aside and you burst into the engine room. You find both the conductor and the engineer frantically pulling levers, pushing buttons, pulling on chains, trying anything to slow down this train.
Tell us what to do to help. How can we help you?
There's got to be a way to channel this energy anywhere but here. We have too much.
I will turn to Booker and go, you have a giant metal rod suit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe your web shooter as well might help out.
Whatever we need to do.
Let's see if we can't get that set up over the lecture room. Maybe we can drain some of that power.
Cool. I don't have a solution for this. Tell me how you do it.
I'm gonna run back and get my mech. my it's not a mech. I mean, it's a heavy.
So close.
encounter
So
suit.
close to a mech.
It's just shy of a mech.
So,
It's just a few centuries shy of a mech. Anyway.
yeah. Lenia would be frantically probably taking apart her web thrower
Okay.
so that there was some sort of mechanism. I would say probably some like less of a net and more of like a lightning rod.
Okay.
Something to push the energy out or something to contain the energy.
Okay.
So whether it's going to be contained inside of Booker's suit and then kind of yucked over the side, or if we are just kind of shooting energy out of this like very intense, kind of like core ball of energy. That's how I picture it. Is like wherever the most energy is coming from, Lenia is just stabbing one side of her thing into it and then allowing it to exit into a direction.
Okay, so how I'm going to play this is I'm going to ask you, how do you, one, get to the electricity without dying, and two, where do you direct your energy and ground it? That can be from both of you, from one of you, either way.
So I think when Amison leaves, he's gonna hand over one of his empty lightning oil cartridges to maybe use as like a buffer between. He's
Okay.
gonna go get his mech and use it as a grounding into the. I want to say he's gonna try to do it into the train first,
Okay.
and then maybe like if I think we try that and it doesn't quite work, and then he's going to say he's going to do something crazy and he's going to climb down the train and try and go into the track.
Ooh, okay.
And so he's going to be hanging on with his power suit and trying to push the electricity down into the track, which would then go into the void. Let's see.
Okay, so I need to ask a question.
Yeah.
Are you on the side of the train?
Yes.
Okay. So you have gotten into your mech. You were saying?
Actually, probably in between the. I think it's like on the side, but also in like the in between the doors type of area.
Mhm.
Probably something like that. So I'm hanging off the side, but also in a place where I can also be standing to an extent. I'm leaning out.
Gotcha. So you are standing in between the electric car and probably the parlor room, and you are trying to channel the electricity that's in that room through your suit, through the lightning hook. No, not lightning hook. The web thrower that's been rearranged. And my last question is, if you're trying to use this to channel it into the track itself, how do you not get ripped behind with it?
I'm going to use the. In what way? Do you mean like me physically touching the track is going to send me back, or do you mean like the electricity?
Like I'm thinking like a harpoon gun. If you were to attach it to somewhere and the rope ran out, you would get chugged with it.
Yeah. So the plan is to not attach myself.
Gotcha.
It's to let the lightning jump, get close enough that it'll just do a jump.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to use I want to use like his electric field. He's going to use a charge of his thing to charge it up, and that field is going to keep him from getting electrocuted, but instead just have it go through the armor.
Okay. Very well thought out. I like this. I'm going to ask a roll from both of you, and depending on who fails or succeeds, one of you might run into trouble. We'll see what happens. I'm going to ask both of you, make me a offer. Which role do you think makes the most sense for what you're doing in this?
Steal.
Okay. You're going to steel yourself against not getting, electrocuted. And
holding it together, I'm being the bridge with my mech, so if I'm not, with my armor suit, so if I'm not able to hold it, probably bad things happen.
And I think what would make sense for you, Lenia, would be to assemble this thing that you're trying to make on the fly.
Yes.
Yep. Is that steel yourself kind of like the act under pressure? Or is that finesse to get it to work properly?
She would probably be more focused on it working properly for sure.
So why don't you roll me finesse, and Amison, why don't you roll me steel?
Finger counting.
Yeah, I did the
10.
same thing.
Sorry?
9.
You got a 9, and what'd you get, Chrissy?
10 total after everything. I had to count the things.
Well, choose 2 for your finesse. Do you do it quickly? Do you avoid trouble, compromise the cost? Or do you impressive stylishly or to greater effect?
I would say doing it quickly and to greater effect.
Gotcha. You are going to work as hard as you can, as quickly as you can, to get this thing put together. Your finger is going to slip, and you're going to take 1 harm for as you cut yourself on it, but you keep working and you get it to work just right. And you rolled a was it a 10 or a 9, Amison?
I got a 9.
So which one?
I'll say the one I don't want is collapse or let go. I want to
Okay,
make sure I succeed.
cool. I think the only one that makes sense at this point right now, actually. Oh, it's so hard to pick in the moment. No, I'll just do the normal one. You still yourself as best as you can, and you are able to hold yourself down as electricity courses through you, through your electro field, and into this device that Lenia has made for you. And you grit your teeth, and you take a point of harm. Where does that put you?
I haven't taken any yet. So
Okay.
just one. I'm assuming that's ignore armor.
Yes, let's say ignore armor. And so take 1 point of harm, and
Since it is my armor that's doing it to me, so it kind of makes sense.
yeah, take 1 section of harm, ignore armor, and the electricity channels through you a little too much. You feel your heart kind of clench for a second, and in what feels like an eternity, it is finally dissipated.
I just want to say, during this super intense moment, while I'm sitting here listening, I noticed that freaking Proper made the derelectric thing flash randomly on the overlay. This motherfucker.
You did notice how the derelectric title flickers like a broken light bulb, and how your names type themselves out.
I noticed the name typing. Yeah, you.
It's my pièce de résistance. Okay, you have successfully discharged some of the energy, and the train slows to a more normal speed. But where are you? We will say that Aminta and Nick have finally made it up to the front of the car by now, and you feel as the train slows down a touch.
I have one question first.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck did you let them go off by themselves? Why do we keep splitting up? We're supposed to stay together. We each have our roles. What the hell? Ghost got your tongue? Like, what the heck? I go to get my gas mask. You let them run off?
Were you fucking talking to me?
Whatever.
I'm not their fucking minders, man. Like, there
Who's
was
the
a
supervisor
whole
of this
train
group?
car of fucking dead people, which, by the way, we have all of second class fucking dead.
Yeah.
Complete undeads right now. And that little kid's parents are, like, not there. I've
they
got him
his parents?
caged, but who knows how long it'll last. Well, they were posing as his parents.
So when you say the
guy.
front, is that where Booker and
Yes,
Chris-
second
Lenia.
class
Yeah,
is
that's
nearly at
okay.
the end of the train, and Lenia and Amison were at the very front of the train. As you all arrive in this car, and as Amison is
Getting electrocuted.
as you are slinking your way back into the car, one of you looks out the front of the train, and you can see through the doorways the window at the front of the train. Something you weren't expecting. Out in front of you, there is a mountain. The lights from the engine car peer out into the dark, into a misty gloom, and slowly illuminate a massive mountain. Alone, directly in the middle of the void sea. The engineer, she is able to slow the train enough to bring it to a stop, and you come to a stop right at the mouth of a cave. It is carved into the side of this impossible mountain that appeared from the inky sea suddenly and without warning. The tracks, several hundred yards on a cliffside, disappear from view altogether inside the cave. The darkness in front of you seems impenetrable. And then, all at once, the four of you hear a distinct clunk of two pairs of mag boots walking on top of the engine car.
What the fuck?
Did you invite
Vampires.
anyone else?
No, man. It's mom and dad from second class.
Yeah, who gave them boots? I thought we were the only ones decked out here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came with their own.
Goddamn
and
security
I'm
guards, they
gonna
never
just-
check the bags.
Go to the door that connects the cars and open it up. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All together now.
That's it.
Do we want to put our hands in and do a little chant first?
Not
No.
particularly.
All right, fine. Excuse me for trying to keep morale high. At least put a smile on. Come on, it's great.
I'm gonna push that door open, and I'm going to go out and try and climb up the ladder, kind of slowly, to just kind of like get a sense of where they are, but also firmly gripping the ladder so that no one can come up and kick me off, at least easily.
A peal of lightning, or thunder, crackles through the air as you get up on top of the building. Wow, on the top of the train car, and a man turns to face you. He holds a large, glimmering saber in front of him, guarding the woman at the very front of the train. After a few moments, you, Aminta, you realize that this is the couple you saw in the second class cabin, and Nick, the one you spoke to, and said, "Don't worry, they don't want your spirits. I have names for them, but you never asked them. This man looks like he could command any room. A warrior, or perhaps a prince even. The woman who you saw as pregnant back in second class appears to have been faking the pregnancy. She now holds baubles, trinkets, and various plants and herbs and is making broad, sweeping motions with her hands. In each hand she holds a spirit bottle. What are you doing up here?
What are
Hey,
you
Dad.
doing up here?
You forget something back in second class? I'm gonna finish climbing up onto the top. My boots like just kind of clinking as I also stand up onto the top of the roof.
I'm sorry, Bulls. I'm not going to let you pass.
I don't think you're gonna have much of a
What?
choice.
And with that, he raises his saber and beckons you on.
Hey, Booker, check their tickets.
Alright, Nick.
I can't say that I don't love the super cheesy one-liners. If it weren't for the fact I was going for a very edgy approach here.
Don't worry, I'll punch him.
What do you do?
I am unfurling my hook and just lashing out. However, I am aiming for his saber
Okay.
to try and hook his saber out of his grasp.
Okay. I believe that sounds like finesse. Would you please roll for me?
Okay. Please, for the love of God. Shit, yeah, I got an 11.
On a 10 or 11, you do 2 of the things below. How you do it?
I do it quickly, avoiding trouble, compromise, or cost. However, it's not very impressive, stylish. I just do it, and I do it quick.
Okay. I'm gonna say it this way. You grapple onto his saber, and he holds tight. So you are pulling him along with you, and he is fighting your roll.
Okay.
But you definitely have it in your. What you use? You use your regular lightning
My
hook.
lightning hook, yep. And I'm just gonna yell out, "Get the witch!"
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's my plan. You always get the one that seems less intimidating. Probably got some crazy shit going on. Onion? I'm gonna call you Onion because that's what it sounded like you said your name was earlier. You and I, let's go toe to toe with this hoe. Sorry, it
Who are you talking about?
Linnea.
Lenya Onion? Again, not as edgy as I was hoping, but it's fine.
So as you call her Onion, she will literally turn to you and just go, "What the fuck, Nick?" And she's gonna off her belt pull off 2 of the 2 of the spirit flares that she has, and aim them directly at the witch. In an attempt to distract her from whatever she is attempting to cast or do.
Okay. Pardon me. I guess that's again finesse. Get them to land where you want them.
That's an 8 total with all my
On a
things.
7 to 9, you do 1. I'll mention you can also do any of the assist moves.
I will. I will avoid trouble, compromise, or cost. So I don't want to have anything happen to me or Nick as we are attempting to foil her plan. And did you say I can also have an assist move?
No, that would be one of your holds. You have 1. So
Okay.
you can either use it as an assist or you can use it as one of the 3 in finesse.
I'll just use it in the finesse.
Okay. What do the spirit flares do?
So I think of it kind of like a flare gun, fairly self-explanatory, with like 2 on each hip with 2 charges in each. So she just kind of like points it, lets it out, and it is just in my mind, it is like a short spray of energy of some type that is meant to like shock or scare somebody, or just kind of like maybe not even scare someone, but alert people.
Okay.
So more of a distraction than a inflict harm.
You said you're avoiding trouble?
Yes.
Okay. If you didn't, I was gonna do something fun. It's fine. So you send off these flares directly at this witch at the front, and they burst in a vibrant light that blinds everyone for just a second, and you see as the woman in front of you is shocked and drops one of her bottles. It smashes onto the floor of the roof of the train, and you see the spirit instantly vanish off into the dark sky. It does not stop her, though. She takes a second to find the things that she has dropped, and she tries again to start doing whatever it is she's doing.
So as I guess what I'm doing, using the distraction, I run up to her. The train is completely stopped now, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there still a drop off to the sides, or no?
Half of the train is still hanging over the water. The first 3 or 4 cars are on some sort of cliffside that's just outside of the cave. The cave is impossibly large.
Beautiful. I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna grab her, and you can tell me if we have to do this differently, but no one has tried to impose their will yet. So I wanna try it, and I'm going to grab her and dangle her over the edge a little bit.
As much as I like this idea, imposing your will is getting someone to do what you say.
Correct. So I'm gonna say, tell us what the fuck you're doing and stop it, or I'm going to let you fall.
You're going to have to use force if you want to
Okay.
do that first thing.
Okay. I will roll force. Alright, here we go. Oh, 9.
On a 9, you choose one. Inflict great harm, suffer little harm in return, or drive them back, seize something, or create an opportunity.
I mean, I guess I'm creating an opportunity to allow her to speak, but I'm in control. I don't want to kill her just yet.
While Nick is moving up to do that, I think Booker kind of last act doing to be so heavy and slow is going to kind of clamber up to this fellow that Anita has caught in her hook with the sword, and he's gonna try and I'm gonna try and roll force against him. I got a couple ideas of what I do, but I want to see what you roll first.
I would prefer you tell me what you're doing first.
Okay, yeah, a number of things if I roll really well, but I'd like to first try and seize something, so completely disarm him, and then possibly try to push him off the train.
Roll. You said you're doing.
It should be force. So there's 3 options in force. One is seize something, one's push someone back.
Okay. Roll plus force.
Yeah. Ooh. I have a reroll from chat, and I'm going to use that on this moment.
I trust you.
It is an 8.
On a 7-9, you choose one. You are trying to seize something or create an opportunity.
I will seize something. I'm gonna disarm his sword.
Okay.
That was kind of already.
He is
somewhat
fighting
attached.
with Aminta. How do you
I'm just
break free?
walking up. I'm just gonna punch his hand and knock it out of his hand, essentially, with my my armored suit.
Okay. Aminta and Amison, you watch as his saber hurls off into the distance, and you let go of the saber with your lightning hook, and it flies off into the distance and out of his hands. You were trying to impose your will on this woman, Cole. Let me do. I said I wouldn't roll anything, but I guess I'm going to now because I have to figure out what her steel is.
Yeah, my force and my steel are both 0, by the way. So unless she has a minus, I don't think I'm getting any pluses.
And if you're rolling proper, there was also a reroll for you earlier on that I saw, but I wasn't sure how you were going to use that because I wasn't sure you were going to roll. But
Let's
now
see.
that I
Hold on.
remember, I'll just let you know about that as well.
What did you say your steel is, Cole?
0.
Yes. So you don't have any pluses. You are sort of threatening bodily harm. Your force is not greater. So simply roll 2d6 to impose your will.
Yep, and I'm not a noble, sadly. So let's see if this roll works. Interesting. Is my skill greater? No. Submit. Is your level greater? I'm
Nope.
level 0, so no. Are you a no? It makes you go through all these questions.
Wow.
Interesting. That's kind of cool, though. 6. Wonderful. I guess nothing? Like, what? How does this work?
She doesn't tell you anything. And because you rolled a 6, I'm going to pull a... I'm not sure if this is really a Ghost Lines thing, but I'm gonna take a hard move on you. I told the players during intermission that I did not use one of my favorite ghosts, and so it's going to appear now. Hey, Nick, could you please roll finesse for me?
Yes. I wanted to test that because, why not? But it seems like it would have been much better if I was leveled up. Great. That's going to be 4.
Excellent. Excellent. A hand reaches out from underneath you in the train and grabs onto your leg. As this ghost bobs out from under the train, you see a drowned woman screaming at you as she grabs you. And she is going to attempt to... what is the word? I need to look this up. She is going to attempt to... Where is it? Manifest you to get her out of the water. Please roll plus steel to steel yourself against supernatural horrors.
Wonderful. As this all happens and I'm surrounded, I just look towards Aminta and I'll just do the guess I'll just die shrug. Ooh, I rolled an 11 on steel though. Best roll of the night for me.
Also,
Yep.
if Lenia is there near him and able to react, she would, but that's after everything happens.
Don't worry. I'll let you be into the order real quick. Also, I thought this would take a little less time, so I'm going to put the music back on for dramatic effect. This ghost latches onto your leg and pulls hard, but you steel your soul against her, and she is not able to enter your body, so she bobs out of the water and dips below. And when I say water, it is the train. But, Lenia, you are nearby and you see this. What do you do?
Yeah, so she would probably just go for like a solid lightning hook attack, just in an attempt to either get the creature off of Nick or to just attack across the board. Think like butt of a gun, like as he's trying to get away, just like knocking her off, or like in some sort of just attack at her.
You wait a few moments while she dwells below the roof of the car, and you see as she tries to lurch back up again, you smack her with all of your might. Please roll plus force.
Sorry, sweetie. You gotta buy me a drink first.
That was an 8, a 4, and a 4. I haven't read. It was force. I haven't read this one yet.
On a 7 through 9, you choose one. You inflict great harm, you suffer little harm in return, or you drive them back, seize an opportunity, or create an opportunity.
I would say probably attempting to get them off of Nick first before inflicting harm. I would say driving them back, seizing something, or creating an opportunity.
Okay. You swing with all your might, and they go hurling down into the ground. And they don't bob back up. However, the woman who is doing her evil witchy ways, you weren't able to get her to say anything, and she grabs onto your collar and pulls herself back up. With the sudden movement, Nick, you let her go. But don't worry, she doesn't get a chance to do very much. And so, you all hear a grumbling sound, like something giant is sliding through the darkness. And you hear it comes closer and closer until it appears. Many tendrils sliding out of the cave. And a sickening creature appears before you. It is covered in rotting flesh. It has hundreds of faces, and it is unbelievably large. A god of death slinks from inside the cave into the murky light of the electro rail. The stench out here is unbearable. And a mass of rotting flesh towers above you. All of its yellow, pus-stained body, skin drips and flakes in chunks. It is a nightmare to behold. All of you, roll steel yourself against the horror of this beast, or take one horror.
Mine was a 6.
Take one horror, please.
Sure.
It was a 5.
Take one horror, please.
Mine was also a 5.
Take one horror, please.
I got a 10.
You are all set.
Booker's seen some shit.
Evidently. This monstrosity lurches out of its cave, and its voice booms. I am Gnosis, that which hungers. Why have you summoned me away from my feasting? And the three of you are in too much of shock to say anything. But Pantaleon, the prince of the Imperium, turns to the god of death and speaks. I seek power, unknowable god, to destroy my brother Unilias, the Immortal Emperor. I wish that you will eat of his flesh and rend him from this world, so that I may take my place on the throne. I have brought you 100 sacrifices to add to your feasting. And the air is quiet for brief moments. Unilias, you say. I know this name. There are rumors in death that he holds not one soul, but hundreds, perhaps thousands. No. He has protection from entities far more powerful than I. Your insolence makes me hungry. You see, without a second's thought, Gnosis descends on Pantaleon and on Odrienne the Witch. Its tendrils uncoil as it brushes the pair. Their faces, features, and skin burst in blistering putrefaction. You see two white tendrils snake out of their eye sockets and travel through the ghostly mass as Gnosis sighs in ecstatic delight, its many eyes rolling back before peering over the four of you. What do you do?
Having not been horrid, can I try? Can I try and seize the initiative and roll against supernatural?
You, as the only person who has not succumbed to the horror that is Gnosis, that which hungers, you may certainly lead the bulls against a monster.
How do I do?
Amazon, there's nobody left to protect, right? Let's not be heroes. Let's just go.
There is still a train full of people.
Yeah, but it's the rich people.
This is so above my fucking pay grade.
Shit, Amazon, put it in reverse. Put it in reverse.
You want me to put it in reverse? Alright, I can lead you guys to put it into reverse. I'm still gonna roll against supernatural. Just tell us to try and get out.
I'm just like standing there.
Yeah, lead
just
you
muttering.
Advance to the rear.
Yeah, I'm waiting for your reaction, but I'm just standing there muttering things.
I'm absolutely, while you're doing stuff, I'm gonna just stutter out. Sorry to bother you. Try and back up. What the fuck are we doing, Booker?
Booker, give him your booze. Give him your fucking whiskey.
Do you think that's gonna work?
I don't know.
Booker,
Yeah.
a large tendril is approaching you rapidly because you have not done anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll step forward and I'll go. Old great one. Sorry for the disturbance they caused. We will leave. Continue your feasting.
Leave? But I have so many delicious spirits right in front of me.
Mine's all crusty. You don't want it.
Yeah, really, like, it's just a bunch of poor people. Most of the decent ones got killed. Your buddy, not your buddy, but our buddy. The one you just got to, he got him first.
But
They're
there's
like,
a
you
witch. You can eat the witch, right?
He already ate the witch.
Oh.
Shit. Alright.
We just watched him eat the witch.
I don't remember, man.
I need you to get it together.
I'm so out of my scope here. I thought I was so great at this job, but I've
All right.
never had this
Everyone,
happen.
get it together. Yeah, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll against supernatural. Get it together, everyone. we're doing our goddamn jobs. So I
Our
think
jobs
it's
don't entail this.
the same thing. Flat 2d6.
Correct.
Let's do it this way. I got a 6.
Oof.
Worth it.
I don't get to
Unfortunately,
do any of them.
unless the chat wants to be very helpful right now.
Let me just log in my other account. really
Or
quick.
I'll let one of you roll to assist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
You-
also have a +2 from chat from Valak that I would willingly
Luca,
sacrifice.
if you'd like to assist him, you're going to have to make a move of force, finesse, or insight.
That horror's fucking with my insight, but it's still my best thing. 7.
And a 7 to 9, you hold 1. What are you doing?
What are we doing, Booker? Am
But
I
I'll hold
choosing
them-
here, or
Yeah. How do you want to do
am
it?
I just giving you the move?
How do you want to help with what I
So-
had said of let's get this together?
Dude, I am gonna just fucking grab Nick and just like pull him, but like in a like very aggressive, like kind of shaking him at the same time as I'm pulling. Just like Nick. And I'm what the fuck are we doing, Booker? And I'm like trying to back up, but also like ready my fucking hook. Like I'm
a little bit out of my element. This is not my jive.
Get the train in reverse. I'll hold it off.
The hell you will. What's that witch got on her fucking body?
I don't know.
Throw it some of those jars. Buy some time. Don't try to go toe to toe with it. It just wants to eat.
Booker, I'll help you however you need. How about a Molotov cocktail? We got that whiskey. Let's do something interesting. And she will start moving forward and grab the bottle off of his hip and throw it at the creature while also shooting a flare gun at it in an attempt to explode the bottle of whiskey at the apparent Cthulhu second cousin.
Mr. Saito has given you all good tables. I don't know what that means in Ghost Lines, but I'll allow each of you to succeed one roll automatically.
I'll take it on that one.
Sure.
That is pretty good, yeah.
So, can you explain again what you were doing?
Yeah, so I will just come up after being rallied a bit between Aminta and Booker and yell again at him, I'm here as your support man, Booker, and yank the whiskey off of his hip or wherever he was holding it. Kind of just toss it into the air as high as I can get it at the creature, aim the last set of flares, and kind of Molotov cocktail it.
Sure. So, Anasis, that which hungers, leers above you and is about to touch you, Lenia, when something comes hurtling towards it. Out of the air, it snatches the bottle and looks at it with confusion. It cracks the bottle in its tendril, and you watch as the liquor runs down his down into his entity, and he is appeased for a brief moment.
All right. Next up.
That train in reverse. Let's go.
I guess we're running to put the train in reverse. I don't know if that's gonna help. Aminta.
Yeah. Definitely gonna light a fire in your honor, great one. And I am just taking one of my oil flasks and smashing it down at our feet as we back up and pulling out my flare gun and shooting it.
So you're taking the lightning oil directly and you're shooting at...
Yes. I am basically lighting up lightning oil in a wall of lightning oil flame between us and him as we back up and go down to the engine room of the train.
So one of the tendrils was on its way to take you, and as you see it approaching, you hurl your bottle and light it. And another flash of almost blinding light. The lightning oil erupts. You see as electricity sparkles across, and the tendril pushes itself away in it dissolves underneath the lightning oil.
Fuck down, get the fuck down. In reverse, in reverse, in reverse. Are people getting down the ladder with any success?
Sure, you can do what you want. That's not a roll for me. Who's going down there first?
I'm trying to hold the thing off and make sure it doesn't get between. Trying to get between everyone else and it.
Okay. How are you either distracting it or taking fire from it?
With the roll that I had done before, as an anchor, the tension is on me.
Okay. One sec.
So I'm trying to just be imposing.
Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Yeah, I'm just
That
trying
was
to
the
impose my
cutest sneeze.
larger armor.
Nossus is not blessing you. Okay. You've lit up and you are retreating as quickly as possible, but we still have Amison, who is on top of the train. a tendril approaches you quickly and is aiming directly for you. I'm going to ask that you roll to steel yourself against this.
Sure. Yeah. Oh wow. How does is that it's a 16?
How in the hell do you roll a 16?
I had a plus
6
2
plus
from chat,
6?
a plus
Wow.
2, and I rolled 2 6s.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I mean, that's still a 10 plus, so you do none of them. If you want to do something fucking badass, go for it.
Can I try and whack the hell out of that tentacle that's coming at me with my stun baton?
Totes my goats, go for it. What does it look like?
So it's kind of coming for me, and I've kind of just steeled myself, so I take the tentacle and let it wrap around my arm, and then I'm gonna smack it with the other arm, and then try and like pull it off.
Okay.
How that goes.
As stylishly as possible, it winds its way around your arm, trying to get to your spirit. And instead, that arm disintegrates as you smack it with your lightning, with your and your lightning baton. At this point, Gnosis takes a step back, but that's not how this works. He hesitates a moment and then comes in very close to you, his many faces very nearly reflecting off of the metal of your suit, and he is intrigued that you are able to best him.
I did roll a force back. I don't know if I was allowed to do that with that hit. I don't know if
You
were just
did
there.
roll a 9, so if
I
you
rolled a
want
9.
if you want to smack at him again, go for it.
Oh, do you want me to roll again, or do you want me to describe?
No,
what I
you
was
used your
doing?
9, go for it.
Okay, yeah. So I'd like to use the drive back option.
Okay.
This one. So he's
you
gonna come
s-
forward intrigued, and then smack.
What on his awful, disgusting body do you hit?
I think if he's gotten in that close and like looking at me with his many faces, going for the many faces, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Describe that.
Yeah. So again, just hit the baton. He with his arm. He kind of came in, does the little like eyeing me up, and I'm just like, nah. I'm just gonna whack him across the face.
One of the many faces that are stretching his disgusting skin screams in terror and pain, and the whole entity of Gnosis recoils. Nick, Aminta, and Lenia, are you inside reversing the train?
Yes. I am scrambling around the engine room. I don't know what I'm doing, but like I am trying to locate the lever or whatever, push fucking buttons, get this thing in reverse.
Pull the lever, Aminta.
Between the three of you, you do get it to go in reverse. The engineer is still there, but is recoiling in horror on the ground in whatever that position is called. And the conductor is just as shocked and scared. But between the three of you, you're able to reverse the train. And very slowly at first, it moves back, and slowly, very unbearably slowly, does it move back.
Can I slap some sense into some of these people?
Are you trying to impose your will?
Frick. I mean, I guess I'm gonna pick one of the engineers up and just be like, make sure the train gets back to a safe place, get us out of here, and we'll deal with this. And trying to get them to go back to work because we need to go help Booker.
Sure. The engineer, she looks at you really scared. She has no clue what to do. Sure, she runs the ghost lines every day, but this is something that is beyond all of her scope. Anyway, she nods quickly, and she runs into the lecture room in order to, not turn the engines, but to hoist the, what's it called? The lightning pole. And a stroke of lightning hits it quickly, and the train starts to move a little faster. Booker, you're still up on top as the train lurches backward. Is anyone out there, anyone else helping?
If I see engineers running back in, because Nick's chasing them in, I'm fucking leaving. Like, I've got it moving in reverse. Like, that's all I can do. And I'm gonna head back outside and climb up the ladder, just to kind of have Booker's back.
Same. Yep.
Lenia and Aminta, you watch as 1,000 tentacles, tendrils of death, crawl along the single line of the railway and chase after the train. It doesn't look like he's running as fast as he can. He looks like he's chasing for fun. And so, what do the two of you do?
Fuck. Okay, this is a super rickety rail, right?
Yeah.
Lenny, do we have anything that can fucking explode the track in front of us as we're reversing?
I mean, we can make something, but I don't know that that's gonna stop him. I think we need to focus on damaging him as much as possible.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck I can do against that.
I'll allow either option. Do what you want.
Booker. What do you say?
Get him.
Yeah, I
think his tentacles that are holding him up on the right. They're what's keeping him on the track. You can knock him off. He might fall off.
I don't know how far my hook reaches, so can I fire one of my flares
What are you firing it at?
at his, what did you say, right side?
Yeah.
Yeah, at like the center mass of tentacles on his right side.
Are you trying to distract him or hurt him?
Hurt him.
Roll plus force for me.
Okay. Oh, a 4.
You attempt to shoot this flare, and
Wait. Before you say what happens, can I use this as my automatic success?
sure,
Okay.
you shoot this flare, and it hits him in one of his tendrils, and the whole body of Gnosis lurches to one side as he, in a bout of overzealousness, miscalculates and falls off to one side, but he's gripping with the other. Lenia, what do you do?
So she's going to turn to the other three and say, listen, I'm the fastest one here. I can get in and get out. Load me up with as much lightning oil as possible. I'll run in, light them up, and run out.
Where the hell are you running into?
Right down the rails. I'll run right down the rails.
Definitely.
To whatever's
not.
holding him up.
I've got the engineers backing us the hell out. We just have to sit here and attack these tentacles. We'll be fine.
Listen, I got like, what, 2 more? How many spirit flares did we say we had?
I don't have a lot more left. I got an idea actually.
Yeah, go Booker.
Go first.
Tell us.
I got an electro field. If I rig it right, it could make it circumvent back on itself, and it could cause an explosion that might push him back.
Do it.
It's the biggest thing I got.
What do you need? Because
I'm
all I got
guessing-
are spirit flares and my hook.
Well, if I take it out, I bet Lenia, can you work it like you worked your web shooter before?
Yeah, probably.
You might be able to feed it back on itself, loop the energy.
Sure.
I was told
yeah.
that was bad, so I'm guessing it would do a bad thing to it if you can get it in there.
This is true.
Lenia, roll finesse to finagle this thing to work right. Aminta, please roll insight to assist in the roll in some way. And
9, 10. 10 total. A 4 and a 3, plus 2 and 1.
I got a 5. I'm useless, man.
who succeeded?
Look, I don't know anything about explosions.
Lenia succeeded.
Excellent. And I have one last question for you, Purple.
Yeah.
This electro field is attached to your encounter suit.
Yeah, I'm ripping it off.
What does that look like? Or how is this thing attached so that it can be pulled off?
It's we got an Iron Man suit. It's right in the front, and it coils into the back. A bunch of power things, but just a little twist pulls out. There's the electro field. Rig it up.
So you have in your hand this mass of wires and a big glowing chunk that you pulled from the suit. The suit no longer works, so it stops working around you.
Yep. So I no longer get that 1 armor.
Who's doing this thing?
I think Lenia is.
Yeah, that's me.
Lenia, you take this sort of bomb that you have manufactured. What do you do with it?
Essentially kind of what didn't Booker say, like we were trying to hook it into his body at some place, like whether it was a tentacle or wherever we could get it closest to his face, I would assume. His many faces. If I have to like run up a tentacle and run back down, I'll try that too.
Okay, why don't you describe as you run off the train down the track and attach this to Knossos, that which hungers.
I'm gonna be ready to, like, holding hand out at the back of the train for when she returns to jump and help her back on.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys will just see Lenia in her unusually fast movement, being a spider and being able to move quickly across the rails as it is, unhook all of the different parts of it as you guys are distracting the creature, just kind of like hooking it into different parts, making sure like one is hooked in on one side and then running to the other and trying to get the other hooked to another part of it. And then as she is running back, detonating it at last moment.
In a horrible explosion that deafens all of you, the tracks on which Knossos are standing collapse, and it is consumed in a ball of fire and crackling electricity, which reaches so far out into the sea that it bounces and comes back on itself. Electricity is shooting in a fiery ball. And you, Lenia, are sprinting top speed. Your hand clasps with that of Nyx, and he pulls you back into the train as it powers back and back and back. The train is running just fast enough that the train tracks it was standing on a moment before are collapsing one after another into the sea. And with one final lurch, as all of you are pushed to one side of the train aligns itself back onto the tracks. And that part of the track that led itself into the void sea is no more.
Wonderful.
As you all collapse in exhaustion, you hear nothing but the train pushing itself back the way it came. The horrible sound of cold, icy rain, and peals of thunder.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you want to,
Magnetic boots still on, I feel like I'm just gonna lay down on the roof of the train in the rain and everything, just sprawled out, just like, what the fuck?
Yep, you were saying?
I was just gonna say how the save definitely goes is it's so timed almost imperfectly but perfectly that Nick has to whip his lightning hook around something on the train and reach out further and grasp her hand and just throw her back up and like does a dip. Glad you're back with us. Pulls her up and then just like spins her further into the train. Oh, fuck.
As soon as any of the engineers can even understand what is happening, they immediately stop the train and you head back to the point where the tracks split off. Someone hops out of the train, fixes the tracks so they head the right direction, and you are off to the Imperial City. Which brings us to the end of our game. You arrive at the Imperial City, and slowly but surely, all of you make it off the train and wander into the sprawling city where Unilias the Unyielding calls home. It is still raining. It never seems to stop. And everyone you speak to at the station doesn't believe you. But the four of you, you faced off against a god, and perhaps learned the world you live in is more complex than you already thought. Thank you everyone for playing Derelectric. I hope you understood the joke that you were on derelict tracks, and I hope you enjoyed your night tonight. In overlay order, starting with Luca, if you wouldn't mind saying your goodbyes. Tell us what you're doing tonight, what you played, and what you're doing in the future. What streams and events you have moving forward.
I am Luke Locke, and tonight I played Aminta Nightwatch the Owl. And this was fucking fantastic. If you want to catch more of me, I can be found here a lot of days. This Saturday, I'm running Dark Echoes. We're back after the Feast of St. Andrel. I'm going to see what happens in the aftermath of that. And then it's part one of the finale for Bard's Refrain that night. And then we're back on Monday for Atrium of Aquarius. And then Harper Investigations on Tuesday. And then that's it for my upcoming week. Are we going down or over?
Let's go over to Cole.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Korabi. I played Nick Sparks, the next great Akorsian novelist, and you're welcome for that. We have about 2 days of break here, so you can finally recharge after TPKCon. But then I will be back on Saturday for Dark Echoes and be totally outclassed in the Bard's Refrain at night times. Other than that, I do things and stuff all over the place. My money was not on Grey Elder God, but perfect action movie ending, so glorious. That's about it from me. Nick will definitely finish his novel. It's most likely about a man and a woman falling in love, but the woman, she has cancer.
God damn it. I was going to say, but the woman is an ancient god. Levi's Purple next.
Hello, I'm Purple Phil. I played Innocent Booker today. He was the anchor. You know, he's a fan of funny one-liners. That's why he works on monorails. Yeah, the next thing I'm gonna be in is gonna be Wrath of Many, and not this Thursday. But
just got monorails.
Thursday.
I fucking hate you. Keep going.
I was trying to find a way to say it in character, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just saved it for then. Yeah, so if you're Wrath of Many in the
we'll
next
come
Thursday.
back to the world of Ghost Lines 3,000 years in the future, and it will be a monorail one-shot.
But yeah, so it'll be the Wrath final episode, and then I'm not really scheduled for much else on TPK, although I'll be over at Neon Lights for In His Divine Name, the Only War campaign. Other than that, that's it for me. I will pass it off over to Chrissy.
Yeah, hey guys. I played Lenia, our spider bull. Isn't that what they are? I don't know.
Oh, bull.
still-
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard
Dude,
bowl.
I was imagining a bowl of spiders, and it was not okay.
I mean, sure, that's just as terrifying. Well, I guess I'm not really. No, I don't know about terrifying, but yeah. So, what will Lenia be doing? Probably joining the resistance of some type. I don't know what, but she was intrigued by that, hearing about it at the bar. So, what will Chrissy be doing? You can find me on all social media at Chrissy Crits, and in the TPK Discord and doing all the things. I will also be in Wrath of Many, which is exciting. We have Tyranny of Dragons, our Queen's Gambit campaign, our Queen's Gambit Tyranny of Dragons campaign. It is late. I am confused. I have some one-shots I'm DMing pretty soon, including Liminal Horror and a game with some of our friends from over in the UK. So make sure you stick around, check us out.
Harper's.
Oh, I'm in Harper's. Wow, I forgot I was in Harper's. I'm in Harper's, which is exciting. So yeah, stick around. You'll see me around. That's it.
Thank you very much all for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. I was nervous the entire time, and I made up half the rules and half of the story, so I think it went pretty well.
Wait, you didn't make up the whole story?
So fucking
Well, I
big.
did make up the whole story, but I only wrote half the story. I hope you enjoyed it, audience members. This is a new system for me, and I think it's very interesting. It has a lot of lore that, like, as Luke was saying during intermission, it's just, like, hidden. You have to read through, like, it's 4 pages long, but there's, like, little tidbits all over the place. It's a very cool system. It's by John Harper, who wrote Blades in the Dark. It's in the same world as Blades in the Dark, so check it out. Both of those I highly recommend. You can find this one for free over on his website. Just look up Ghost Lines. You'll find it pretty easily. As for me, I'm not doing much until I start my new campaign. I've never run a campaign on TPK, so we'll see how that goes. It is City of Mist, again, a new system that we've played once or twice, and my campaign is called Madness Calls It Forth. I know, edgy once again. Shocking. And it is, again, it'll be a bit of homebrew and a bit of Knights of Paintown, so we'll see how that goes. I have my 4 players, including Chrissy and Luca, which are going to be very exciting, plus Ikaj and Vermin. Very cool cast, very exciting characters. I'm pumped and scared at the same time. Also, I write games. I wrote a game called Generational. You can find it on itch.io in the link I'm sharing now, or the link that Cole just posted, which is a collection of all the games we've made in the TPK community. It's very fun. I like it a lot. I'm not going to stop talking about it because it's cool. If you enjoy what you see here, please join us on Discord. Please follow us. Please join us in a raid after this session. And if you want to, we also have a Patreon where we post fun, very cool stuff related to the content we make here. Did I forget anything, players? Lovely.
Have a good night and treat yourself.
Oh, I did forget something. All glory to his immortal Emperor Unilias the Unyielding. Have a good night,
All right.
everyone.